Okay. Hannah Nunez, hello. How are you? It's been a little while. Alrighty. Okay, as y'all can see, the name of my live tonight is Personal Thoughts. I don't know how personal they are. I've said it don't know how many times. Good, just checking in. Awesome. Deonda, hello. Deonda, I have a question for you. Do you live on the Church Street ones, or the Main Street ones? You live on Church or Main? I thought it was the church. Little Miss, hello. With personal thoughts. Yeah, like I have any. Which I do. Behind Save a Lot on Main. I don't know why I was thinking it was the Church Street ones. I don't know why. Snickerdoodle, hello. Michelle Reese, hello. Todd B, hello. Little Mrs. Church kicked her out. Showing you how true that was. Anna, hello. Hi, Eating Crystal. And watched Bachelorette. She is from Tuscaloosa. Oh. Oh, okay. Alrighty. The Washington Square. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking. They helped her pack and everything, says Little Miss. Hmm. I hope, I really do, that everybody who is a mama out there had a very good Mother's Day yesterday. I hope. I spent mine with my mother. Went over to my parents' house. Did your mom cancel Mother's Day? No, she didn't cancel Mother's Day. Are you kidding? She loved it. Diana says, Bobby says hi. Hello, Bobby. Hello. Just got done watching Stand By Me. Love that movie. God, talk about a blast from the past. Yeah, I spent the day with my mommy. It was just a little gathering, me, my sister, my nephew, my mom and dad. Just so, well, she loved it. She loved it. She always loves it when her family's there. So I won't say what my son and I did. Probably had a party. Mom was just glad we were there. We didn't really do anything special, just spent time. I had helped Mom find her cardinals, though. She had to go up in her office. She's like, Les, I can't find it. She had a little one in her hand. She said, I'm looking for the big one. You can't find crap in that big ass messy. I was like, Mom, oh my God. She says, I know, Les. Everything's just out of order. Well, she does it. And it's so funny because we go up there and clean it and get it organized and do everything she wants. but she keeps buying stuff. And she loves to shop from her chair. So it's all ordered in. She keeps buying stuff and setting it in there. And she wonders why there's no room. I was like, you've got a huge ass house. Put it somewhere else, Mom. No, I want it near me. I can see now she's going to be one of them hoarders. As long as she is able to use that credit card and computer, she's going to be a hoarder. So I was up there and she's half getting frustrated. And she's like, I can't find it. Well, she had already put it up. And I was like, Mom, I finally found it. Something told me to look up, and I did. And I was like, Mom, it's on top of the bookcase. I was like, it's over there on top of the bookcase, Mom. Oh, thank God, Les. What would I have done if you weren't here? Eventually found it. Eventually. Here, put this one by that one. No, not there. Put it on the other side. No, move it to this. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, I sent Mandy a bag of jewelry, and today I found more, for fuck's sake. Oh. Oh. So, I had a good day yesterday. I'm not going to complain. I got to see all my grandkids. Yay! And then I took off. So they're like, where you going? I want to go with you. Get them all. And then I took off. Doc, hello. Let's say, Doc, you don't get this and done. You don't get this and done right. I will send you back to Chicago in a box. Doc, I need to come visit you in Chicago. I really do. I seriously do. You can show me around. That kind of thing. What have you. I really do need to visit you. It's been, God, a long, long time, Doc. That would be fun. Yeah, that would. I think it would be fun. I really do. I was going to go, you guys, we were going to go on a road trip tonight, but it's just too cold. It really is. It's just too cold. Next thing I know, I get pneumonia. Road trip to Chicago. Hell yeah, Todd. Don't think I wouldn't be streaming from there. You know I would. Dead serious. There's quite a few places I want to go. I was thinking about doing urban survival in a hive for a month or so. Just put 10 out back. That's the way I do it. I had to do that this summer. Just do streams from my backyard in a tent. Wouldn't that be funny? I think that would be hilarious. Anywho, so we were going to go on a road trip, but it's just too cold. I wish it's a high weather. Jeezy cow. It's supposed to be 45 here tonight, says Snickerdoodle. I don't know what it's supposed to be tonight, but I know for me, myself, and I'm cold. So my hands are cold now. So I said, no, we're not going to go on a field trip. So I thought I would just sit down and just talk about my personal thoughts. Like, that's really thrilling. I can imagine. Jeffrey Taddeo, hello. Come on, Les, get your ass outside. I was. That's why I said no. It's 67 here now, says Little Miss. Oh, I would love it if it was 67. I would probably be out there if it was 67. I mow my lawn when it's 67. So I said no. I'd rather just sit here and talk about personal thoughts and see what all we're going to get into. Liz, what would you do with $1 million? With $1 million? I would honestly, I'm I wouldn't have to pay off my parents' house because it's already paid. So there's nothing I can pay off for my parents. They owe nothing to no one. Ziggy, hello. My weekend was good. I spent it with my mom. Uh, the cold air will energize you, Liz. The whole cold air will give me pneumonia. $1 million, I would actually buy myself a decent vehicle, buy me a motorcycle. And that's I would give to people who need it. I would set up something to where that could be self-sustaining to help others. That kind of thing. I had a wonderful weekend with my kids and grandkids. Awesome. Where were you going to road trip tonight, Les? I was thinking about going to Pataskala. Anna Grissom says, have y'all seen the Fix? It is awesome. It's on ABC. No, I've never seen it. Never heard of it, actually. I was thinking about going to Pataskala. So we were going on a road trip tonight, Les? No, I was. It's too cold. It's too cold. That's the last thing I need is to catch another cold. Because it turns into bronchitis like right now, and then I'm going to be down again. So I do that idea of hoboing around in a half or a month less. You can try it. Todd B says it's always warm inside Walmart. Yeah. The thing of it is, in my town, it's dead after about 9 o'clock. I'm dead serious. Deonda's in here. She'll tell you. Jeffrey Taddeo says, Les, you have to see the film. Can You Ever Forgive Me with Melissa McCarthy? You will enjoy it. I heard about it, and I do want to see it. I really do want to see it. Is that the one where she plays the author, and the author ends up plagiarizing? Anna Grissom says, cold and Bama. Ugh, I'll be glad when the summer gets here, but I'll be wishing for fall by July and August. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I do want to see that. I love Melissa McCarthy. I really do. I think she's just wonderful as a human being. I wanted to see that so bad in theaters, never got a chance. It looked so good, said Doc. I didn't even know it was in theaters. I just heard about it. Snicker says, Snicker, did you like the movie? Anna said, I want to see that movie. Yeah, I love Melissa McCarthy anyway. My sister told me about her when I didn't know she was on what show? What show was it? Was Gossip Girls. And of course, that's not my kind of show, so I never watched it. But when Mike and Molly first came out, I didn't watch the first season. My sister loved it. She said, Les, you're going to love it. You're going to love her. You know, it's a great show, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. Well, I ended up. Because usually my sister and I don't like the same shows. But I ended up really loving that show. Hated the way it ended. I love Melissa McCarthy, too. Yeah. Ziggy, did you want to come up? Anybody want to come up on panel? I'll let you come up on panel, whoever wants to. Bridesmaids was great. I didn't care for Bridesmaids. I don't know why. I mean, I watched it. It was all right, but I don't know. I don't know. Love her in the movie Tammy, Identity Theft. Hey, I loved them all. What you want y'all about tonight, Les? Huh? I liked it. I loved Identity Theft. Big Mama, hello. Well, look what the cat drug in. Good to see you, Les. Good to see you too, Big Mama. How you doing, sexy thing? How you doing, sexy thing? Anyone went up on panel today? Oh, typos. What you want to talk about tonight, Les? Oh, just some personal thoughts. That's all. Doc is begging some Chinese, and we had Long John Silver's. Wasn't even expecting it. Wasn't even really hungry. I only had one piece of chicken. Tired per usual. I know the feeling. I'm tired too, and I don't know why. Oh, my cat brought in an organ from some critter. Oh my goodness. You gotta love cats. You gotta love cats. They just don't care. They'll just bring it to you and say, look what I found. Or look what I did, mommy. I actually took a nap today, said Ziggy. So did I. I get up and I need to take a nap. I must have been active in my sleep because all my covers were on the floor and I kept waking up because I would get so cold and I'd pull covers back up. Then they'd be all on the floor again. I'd pull them back up. And I finally woke up last time, just curled up, and I was freezing. I was like, good God. Planning for a gym day tomorrow, says Doc. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think I'm going to go out tomorrow and try to get some more footage and stuff. So we're going to see. I don't know. When is it supposed to be sunny? Here, let me look at my weather. Let's see. See, it's 46 degrees now. It's supposed to be 63 for the high tomorrow, cloudy. Ooh, Thursday and Friday. Wednesday's supposed to be 69, rainy. Thunderstorms. Well, for Wednesday. And Thursday and Friday's in the 70s. Sunny. Well, partly sunny. This week, our weather is good, though. Yay. Doc wants me to do the McDonald's audit. I've done a couple on them. I'm going to do another one. I think it's the weather and it has my mood all messed up too. That's what my girlfriend had for dinner, Long John's. I had A&W. Oh man, I miss our A&W so bad. I really do. Todd B's like 69. Yes. Yeah, if it's 69 out, I'll go. If it's 46 out, I don't need to catch anything. Dead serious. Snickerdoodle, I'm enjoying the cooler weather because by the end of the week, it's going to be in the upper 80s with humidity. Ugh. I'm waiting for my air conditioner to get fixed. Dead serious. My mom was going to give me money to buy a scooter. I was going to look to Honda and buy me a brand new scooter and stuff like that. Because she doesn't necessarily want me on a motorcycle, but she says scooter isn't as bad. And I'm like, well, it's just the same, Mom. You just don't know. Well, anyway. So I told her, I said, Mom, do you mind if I take the money from my scooter and fix the air conditioner and stuff? She's like, no. She said, what's wrong with the air conditioner? And I told her, and she said, well, your father and I will pay for it. And I said, all right. So I called her back and I said, Mom, I said, I can use money to fix the air conditioner. Well, I'm going to send Luke Card out there. And she said, I'm just going to have them send me the bill and stuff and blah, blah, blah. She hasn't yet. She thinks because she's cold, everyone else is cold. I'm like, Mom, when it's 80s, it's not cold. Les, what would you do if they call emergency services because you requested a Braille menu? I'd be like, what's your problem? I'd just sit there and talk to them, tell them. I'd be like, they offer it? I was wanting one. I have a friend in from Chicago who they have different things than we do, and I want a menu. Sun's shining nice this week, says Ziggy. Snicker says, all we have is fans, so yeah. Yeah, I can't do that. Jeffrey Taddeo, R.I.P. Doris Day. Oh, her son back in the day was targeted by the Manson family. He used to rent the house where Sharon Tate and group were murdered. That's right. You're right, Jeffrey. I forgot all about that. I didn't know Doris Day died. I thought she already died. I didn't know she died. We used to sweat with my mama here. She was always cold. Yeah, my mom's always cold because there's nothing on her. There is no meat on this woman. The doctor, he looked at her and he told her, he said, I'm surprised you survived surgery. There's nothing on her. So she's always cold, always. So yesterday she said, I'm going upstairs and I'm going to go in my office because I have my little space heater up there. And I was like, okay, Mom. I went up there in that office and I was like, oh my God. I had on a t-shirt and I about died. Terry Melcher was the son's name. He was dating Candace Bergen at the time, a.k.a. Murphy Brown. I loved that show. Sickle, that says that's scary. And Dr. Furfur said, got zapped on Facebook today. What'd you do this time, Doc? Y'all, I just want you to know Doc isn't as frail and innocent as he looks. That boy will go at you. He will go at, he's kind of dangerous if you really want to know the truth. Let's just put it this way. I'm glad Doc's on my side. My mama had an electric blanket on her bed year round and used it too. My mom did too, except for she used to keep her house at like below freezing at all times. This is when she was healthy. Oh my God. We'd have to wrap in the middle of the summer. I'm dead serious. You wore long sleeves and shit in Mom's house in summer. I'm dead serious. When I was younger, it wasn't so bad because I wasn't really home that much. So I was always outside. So it was like super hot outside and I'd come in and feel good. But as you get older, jeezy cow, I know in my 40s, I was like, criming netly, I need a coat. My dad'd be sitting downstairs with a blanket over him. Some DMCA junk messed with some punks from a group I am in, and they all mass flagged me falsely. Oh, Doc. I'm not on Facebook that often, so the older they get, the more colder they get. Well, like I said, there's no meat on my mom. She's been sick for so long. She lost so much weight. She was under 100 pounds. And I think she's now back up to 109, I think. I think that's what she's up to now. So, but good God, I went in her room last night and she had these big baskets. I mean, they're like this big around and like this deep. She had two of them full of nothing but candy. I'm like, oh my God. And she wouldn't let me have one Reese cup. Not one. Not one. I really only go on there to chat with this one person, but sometimes I will check a marketplace group to see if there's anything of interest. Oh no, I have to have my Reese's. My mom wouldn't give up one. I mean, she didn't get like the regular size candy bars. She always get like the snack packs and stuff. They were full of snack size, both of them. I was like, "Can I have a Reese's?" She's like, "No, I might need that." I'm like, "Good God, woman!" So I had left with no candy yesterday. Candy rules. Too bad I'm diabetic. Reese's kind of tastes like a mouthful of sand to me. Maybe it's because I'm blind. No, it's the peanut butter. But I love it. I don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. It's just the right amount. You know, Doc, how you like just the right amount of sauce with the number of noodles? Yeah, that's the way. Hershey Kisses with almonds. Yeah, she had those too. she had Milky Way, Almond Joy, Snickers, M&Ms, um, Hershey Kisses, the Reese's, and oh God, what else did she have? She had something else, and they were all like, the bite-sized shit. And it was just Snickerdoodles. I hate peanut butter. Makes me gag. I love peanut butter. I can just eat it with a spoon. Have you tried cookie butter? Yum. Nope. I'm addicted to those Haribo gummy bears, though. I'll tell you that much. I swear it's like they put crack in them. I find myself sniffing the empty bag for hours. My grandkids love anything gummy. They don't care. And the spicier and hotter it is, they love it. The tangier it is, they love it. Those kids ain't got no taste buds. Black Ceiling, hello. Welcome to the lounge. I am your host, Leslie. Everybody calls me Les. My mama's favorite is Snickers and Mr. Goodbars. Wintergreen mints. Yeah, my mom loves mints. Peppermint patties and stuff. We always knew what kind of a mood my mom was in when we go to the store when we were younger, and she would get her peppermint patty. We knew it was going to be a rowdy day. I like Twix or the caramel M&Ms. I like Laffy Taffy too and Skittles. I like Skittles. I like Runts. Tangy stuff is my favorite too. Love the spicy Mexican lollipops. My grandkids ain't got no freaking taste buds. They don't. They've had to have burned them off by now. I mean, they love spicy stuff. They love tangy stuff. Their favorite out of all three grandkids love the same thing. It's their favorite, and that is seafood. We're talking shrimp and crab and lobster. They like the expensive shit. Of course, any seafood's expensive. Sarah, hello. Les, if your grandkids like strong flavors, how about warheads? Yeah, they like warheads. They do. They like everything. My vape juices, lemonade, yum. I miss zero bars. They have 33 grams of sugar. Doc says I killed all my buds by drenching them in exorbitant amounts of hot sauce over the years. That sounds like my family. I never did. My can't handle spicy. I can't. Man, I really wish we can go for it. go for a drive today. I'm so in the mood. I hate it when this time of year because it doesn't know. One day it's warm, one day it's cold, one day it's warm, one day it's cold. And I can't handle that because I want to get out. My old pastor's daughter liked to eat hot banana peppers out of the jar. Yeah, when she was a preschooler, I said, "What's she going to eat when she's a teenager?" What is that? Boot jalokas? I have no idea what that is. I'm probably saying it wrong. Snickerdoodle. My tummy can't handle spicy food anymore. Used to back in the day. I miss Country Time lemonade. I love Country Time lemonade. It's the only lemonade I'll drink. I don't like hot sauce. I do like um, shrimp boils with corn and potatoes. I don't eat any other seafood at all. No fish, yuck. It depends on the fish. Pronounced boot. Jolokias, the hottest pepper known. Oh. My mom my mom was famous for all that shit, and so was Ian. And there's a restaurant, I think it's in New York, that you have to sign a waiver when you go in. And it was these cheeseburgers, but they were like super hot. I mean, made grown men cry. And Ian was wanting to go there, and I said, "If you want to go, we'll go," because Mom wasn't going to go. But he loved that kind of shit. And the hotter it was, and his face could be turning red, and he'd cry, and he'd be like, "This is so good, Aunt Leslie." And I'd just look at him like, "You're nuts." Oh, hate fish, but love shrimp. But no, my grandkids, God, they love crabs. Oh, and shrimp, lobster, all kinds of fish. But they would prefer the crabs and the shrimp. That's their preferred thing. That's out of all the seafood, that is their favorite, and they can eat it like there's no tomorrow. It's worth taking them to the all you can eat shrimp fest at Long John's. It truly is. It's worth taking them. Nina can eat the shit out of it. Yeah, I don't like seafood. I'll eat tuna every once in a while. I hate tuna, but I have to drown the fishy taste. No way would I do that hot pepper stuff. Love shrimp from the Gulf, Alabama shrimp, yum. They like the Alaskan king crab. Now here they're big. They're about this big. The king crab. But I said, no, you got to literally go to Alaska and get the one that are like 5 feet wide. They would have a heyday. And trust me, they would know exactly what to do with it. They all know what to do with it. That whole side. I have to be in the mood for seafood. I really have to be in the mood for it. And usually I'll just get like cod. Half the time I ask them, I want a fish sandwich with no bun. Dead serious. I'll say, I want a fish sandwich, no bun. And but if my mom takes me, I'm not allowed to get it. So she'll say, get something else. So it's always steak and lobster. But I have to be in the mood for it. Doc says, I like spicy Mexican food. Part of my heritage. Spicy Thai food and Chinese food is also my thing. I like Mexican food. Um, but I'm not into spicy Chinese, and I like regular Chinese. I can't do spicy. About as spicy as I can get is Mexican, and I don't think it's that spicy. Opilio crab, those are the ones they harvest on that reality show. I don't know. I don't like buttery shrimp spaghetti. Oh yeah, there's a new pepper that's out. It's so hot it can make you stop breathing. I'm like, why would someone even try that or even make something like that for? My mom would eat it. My mom would eat it. The hotter it is, to her, banana peppers are not hot. My mom, to her, banana peppers are not hot. She said they don't know what hot is. Wait till I make you guys some of my signature spicy Japanese curry. I guarantee you I won't eat it. I don't like curry, first of all. Secondly, I don't eat anything spicy. Things can be flavorful without being spicy. I used to live in a down that had a Cuban restaurant. That place had good food, even though it looked like a storage shed. Most of them do. It's like, why do people grow giant pumpkins? Because they can. I love hearing Mama say because I can. I don't like peppers at all. Yuck, bell peppers too. Sarah said I liked in the town. I'll tell you what, some of the best food I've ever had has come from these little mom and pop shops, these little dives. That's some of the best food. Just like a little hole in the wall. I like Cajun spice, not jalapeno spice. I don't even like Cajun spice. I can't do spicy. Not real spicy. I can't do, and I can't stand curry. Cannot stand it. It's not a spicy person at all. Banana peppers are the yuckiest in my opinion. I like serrano peppers. Those things are like spicy bullets. My mom likes serrano. Answer. Answer. Hello? Oh, come on. How many times you gotta hit answer? Jeez. I heard something for a second. I'm not a big curry fan either, except for one thing: cauliflower roasted with olive oil and plenty of curry powder. Ew. Ew. Have we a pranker in the house? No, I kept hitting answer, and I thought I heard somebody for a second. Um, Connie Baldwin, hello. Now I missed the call. All right, what the hell? Man. No to crawfish. I don't like crawfish. Ugh. Look, I love Italian. This is my favorite. I love Italian food. And I'm nowhere near Italian. Nowhere near it. I like Spanish food. And I really like what I think it's called paella. I think that's what it's called. I really like that. Um, and I like, of course, our American spin on some food. I don't know. Yeah, I like that. I like paella, and there's another one that I really like. I'm gonna have to ask my mom what it is. Ooh, I think it finally went through. Hello. Hello? Well, if they're not going to say anything, I don't care. I like the song. Hello. Let's see. Hello. Yeah, I think I cut it off in 15 seconds. We may have went a little bit over. I do like the song. Don't get copyright. Oh my God. Connie, I can do nothing and they're going to get me for something. Everyone, at least it's a good song. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. It's a shame, but them is the rules. Yeah, I know. It's like the last live stream I had to request a review. They ding every single one of mine. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I know about the 15-second rule. I hate that. But I do like the song. It's like, don't they have something better to do? I don't think they do. I mean, I can do absolutely nothing and I would still get demonetized and I'd have to request a review. Slot community is getting demonetized. Great, now that song's stuck in my head. YouTube has gotten strict lately, but they a lot of other stuff that is so inappropriate. I know one thing, they won't let me get away with shit. They won't. Really, Anna, I did not know there was a slot community. Hell yeah. That's where Joe is from. Hi, Liz. At work, just thought I would stop by and say hi. Can't stay long though. Chris, hello, my sexy lover. How you doing, Chris? Big Liz audits, yeah. Dog community getting comments turned off. People are probably doing that themselves. Yeah, that's where Joe, Easy Life, that's where he's from, the slot community. He's my boy. I just love him. It's crazy how YouTube is now. I understand how YouTube is. I mean, I understand what they're doing and everything, but criminally, I don't do nothing. Work sucks. Wish I could stay home and stream. Chris, you need to stay home. How about we make plans for Wednesday to work together? Because we really, you know what I want to do, and we really got to get this going. And you know what I want to do, so. But I understand how YouTube is. I really do. They want so people, they can get their advertisers back. Hello, Joe was watching us today while Kitty was streaming, getting her pool up. It was fun. Awesome. Awesome. I was asleep. I'm not gonna lie. My life is just the same. Sleep all god dang day. Play the same dang games over and over and over again. I have something different to do every day. Thank God. I think I'm going to mow my lawn tomorrow. It's not supposed to rain or anything. It needs it. Comments were great in chat. Awesome. It was crazy. Show Woo Blue Bay Shepherd got turned off for showing kids in her videos. I guess you can show kids because I've never been dinged for showing my grandkids. Never. Mowed ours today. I need ours. It was wet, so it rained all day yesterday, and my grass needs to dry out because it's kind of high because of the rain. Typos. But I understand what YouTube's trying to do. I really do. It's just that when you don't do anything, I mean, you don't do nothing, and you have to request a review because there might be, I don't know. I haven't figured out. There's a couple of them I'm like, okay, I didn't even fight it because I'm like, I already know what happened. I already know they're not going to overturn it. But some of them, like, what? She took kids out, comments still turned off. Zigzag, sick of rain, but we'll be begging for it in July and August. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't all the rain supposed to be in April? I know YouTube is mandatorily disabling comments on videos that show children who are on the autism spectrum or are otherwise developmentally disabled. Hey Les, on my way to bed, but want to just say hi to everyone. Van Lufa, hello. How you doing? They never turned mine off, not with Nina. Well, she's just deaf. So, you know. But most of the ones that I request review for, they overturn it and I end up. But it's just like every single time I get off, I have to go and request. Like tonight, I haven't really done anything. I will probably get dinged and I will probably have to request. Door dashed all day to make some money while I'm trying to find a job. Oh, Van Loo, it should be easy for you, hon. You're a nurse. Wow, this is getting too much. It's coming. They say because of pedophiles. Really, yeah. Trying to figure out how to install a screen reader on my Nintendo Switch. I need to get me a Nintendo Switch. Van Loof said you'd think so. Yeah, you would, I guess. Well, come here. There's nurse's job here everywhere. RN, LPN, it don't matter. You can get a job around here. I'm trying to get my friend Missy back up here. She's like, hell no. Not just pedophiles, but also trolls who say the kids should have been aborted or left to die. Yeah. Yeah. You don't take shit out on kids. You don't. That might be disgusting, Zigzag, but it's true. I've seen them. I've seen the comments. Not on mine. Thank God. I've not had it on mine. But, you know, that's horrible. It is true. I've been waiting for some bad comments, but I've never had a bad comment when it came to my grandkids. Not at all. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Knock, 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 knock. Me too. There are some sick Fs out there. Yeah. And yeah, I just yeah. Yeah, there are colonies, sickos, a zigzag. A bunch of nurses got fired in Mobile for stealing patient drugs. They are looking for people. Oh my God. Are you serious? Do you know that was one thing I never thought about? I never, ever, probably because I don't like taking pills, and I certainly half the time don't even like taking my own, but Judith, hello. Hello, Liz. How are you doing today? I am doing good, and happy Mama's Day. Happy Mama's Day. I hope you had a good one. Um, yeah, that's just crazy. There's no. Uh, I would jump through a screen for my grandkids. I was a practicing pharmacist for 18 years, and I never considered it either. Yeah, what the hell? I never thought about it. Judy says, "Thank you, love. I did." Doc says, "Let's get Tilly on Google's side." Who's Tilly? I asked if anybody want to come up on panel. I've asked Ziggy. I've asked whoever wants to get up on panel. Come up on panel. A nurse in my area went to jail for stealing fentanyl. She would use a syringe to suck it out of. They used fentanyl patches. Oh my God. And eventually someone found one with a hole and reported it. You gotta be kidding me. Connie says, my daughter went to nursing school to be an LPN, almost finished but relapsed. It worried me about her access to drugs. Oh. Your friend who was the manager at McDonald's. Oh, Tui. Tui. I went to school with her. I've known her for God, since God was a boy. Nemesis Dawn, hello. Sarah says they installed a camera in the drug room at the nursing home and caught her. Wow. You gotta be kidding. Addiction is real and so sad. Wow. Oh, trust me, I know addiction is real. Yeah, I've known Tui forever. She's not there anymore. She went on to bigger and better things. And I'm pleased to say it was because of my help. She went on to bigger and better things, and she needed help, and I helped her, and I'm glad I did. And she was so appreciative, and you know, I never asked for a thing back. I never asked for a thing back. Never asked nothing of her. And she gave me a big old hug, was crying and everything. And I think is what it was is that Tui, she's got. I was like, Tui, you know what causes pregnancy, right? I mean, the woman is 40 having babies. And I'm like, girl. Well, anyway, her oldest daughter has had 5 kids, and every one of them are in the system. And when her oldest daughter, when she was pregnant with her first, she asked me to take the child. And I was like, are you serious? She said, yes, I'm serious. I want you to raise her. And I said, you're going to have to let me think about that. And so it's because of Tui. So I went to Tui and I said, Tui, we need to talk. And so we were talking and I told her what happened. And she said, you let me take care of it. I said, now, Tui, she says, Les, I understand. She says, I'm upset with her, but. And so I said, well, let me know what's going on. And 2 weeks later, she came to me. Tui did, and she said, I'm taking the child. And I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. And I said, I'd be more than happy to take that little blessing. And she said, no. She said, I'll take the child. So she raised the child as her own. And at the same time, Tui had just had a baby a year before. So yeah, so Tui thanked me, and she said if I wasn't able to do it, she said, Les, I would let you. I said, well, yeah. I said I don't want to step on any toes because we've been friends forever. Well, we didn't know that her daughter was going to have 4 more, and they were living in the hotel at one time. And I said, Tui, I can't take all 4 of them. I can't take them all. And she said, Les, she says, I don't want them in the system either. I can't take them either. And I said, I can't take 4 of them. And I already had little mama. And it was just a sad situation. But I did help Tui out. And so she could move on. And now she's doing a lot better. She's not a manager at McDonald's anymore. She went on to make another job where she was making a lot more money and stuff. But she couldn't move on unless a certain thing was taken care of. And I took care of it for her. So. But they did the wrong person. Turns out they were on the board of the hospital bus. Ooh. It's funny, the pharmacist told us how to dispose of the patches because he said people will probably kill for them. I just take them back to the pharmacy. The government spends like $30,000 a year per prisoner. Too bad they can't spend that money on rehabbing those under addiction rather than putting them in jail. So, just saying, so sad, yeah. I took guardianship of my 3 nieces because of addiction. Lived with me for 5 years. Hard times, but it was worth it. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, oh, man. Oh. Oh, crap. Who knows? I might get Tui up here one time. I think it's disgusting the way the media has glamorized opiate addiction. Now parents are sober and doing great, and so are the girls, grown and doing great. Awesome. Nicole A, hello. Nemesis Don lost my mom to heroin a long time ago. I just don't have that. I don't have that propensity to have addiction to pills and drugs and stuff. I just gambling. Yeah, I can't. I have. It takes a lot for me to stop, but I can. Drinking. Yeah. Drugs. No, I don't. Never did. I remember when abuse left me out of a home years ago. Scary stuff, especially when it's in the south side of Chicago at 12 a.m. Jeez. Zigzag says, sorry, Nemesis. Sarah says, if I never see an attractive white person who says, I was an addict and now I'm clean, and we find out after they OD that they got high in the bathroom before the interview, it'll be too soon. Jeez. Me either, Les. I don't care to gamble either. I always think I can handle gambling. I mean, I don't do the lottery or nothing like that. I'm talking about gambling. And it's okay, Zigzag. It was over 20 years ago. She was really sick, and I've forgiven her. Aww. Yeah, I like to gamble with playing poker and shit like that. I have no desire to gamble. It's so boring. Not to me. I like to see how far I can go on $100. You know, I don't do big time gambling. Do no, but I could gamble away $1,000 easy. Art Deco. Hello, Les, my love. And it's 777 love slots. No money in savings. Stay away. Now my hubby loves to gamble. He loves the crap tables. Loves it, but we don't go anymore. Art Deco, are you working art? Oh my gosh. Oh, the one armed bandit stole my wallet. It says Dawn. I've never played slots. I don't know how to figure them out. I couldn't tell you if I win or don't on. I don't know. I don't know how to figure out slots. But I do blackjack. Sometimes I'm good at blackjack, sometimes I'm not. I love poker. I can sit at a poker table forever. And all my life, in 50 years, and I've been playing since I was 9. Been playing poker. Any style of poker. I've been playing since I was 9 years old. My uncles taught me how to play. He used to play with their friends, and we played with money. I've only had one royal flush in all of my life, and it's a shame because it was for a low jackpot. It was only for $250, and I will never have that again. And it really pisses me off because if I ever play poker again and I'm sitting at a table and the jackpot's like 10 grand or something like that, or 150 grand, I know I will never win. I've already had mine. And that is something that most poker players don't have. A lot of people don't have that in a lifetime. And I've had one, and it was 250. I was so pissed. Most lost was $340, but on retail salary, a lot of money, yeah. Nemesis loves slot machines, have to stay away. You look tired tonight, Les. I am. Art says Ziggy chat at work listening. Awesome. Ziggy says, so does my hubby, Les. He plays poker online too. Yeah, I still have money in my poker account. I think I have $20 in there. Sarah says they'll bring in old $20 each and leave with several $100. Snickers says I played $1 slot once and won $1,500. Then my mom played and won $1,500 too. Awesome. I played the slots twice. I put in 100 and spent 40 and won 800. Wow. Ziggy says second time I put in 100 and won around 500. Awesome. Then it says I seen a guy at a Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, win a $40,000 Harley on the slots. I was so jelly. I'd be jelly too. And it says slots love you 1 minute, next minute they don't. I don't know how to play them. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know how to play them. I never played slots, but hell, you know. And we've got a casino here in Columbus, and I've never been. So I figure I wouldn't do good a third time, says Ziggy. My sister goes down to She'll go to Scioto Downs. That's where the horse racing is. But they also have a gambling suite in there. And that's where she goes. My sister ended up having a problem. I'm like, Cheryl, you don't go every weekend, girl. You don't go during the week, Cheryl. Cheryl, you don't need to go 5 days a week. I'm serious. Anna says, I could teach you, Les. I wish somebody would, honestly, Anna. Lady Luck only comes around to laugh at me when I gamble. Yeah. Uh, there was one time I was playing poker, and I think the pot was $3,000 or $4,000. I think was in the pot, and it was up. I will tell you this, and I had a witness who was with me, and because they have poker clubs around here, and the pot was like $3,000 or $4,000, and it was me, and it was up to, at the end of the hand, towards the end of the hand, it was me and this other guy. And of course, there's 8 people at my table, and then there's 3 or 4 other tables. They're done. They're watching us. And so we're going back and forth, and I'm just sitting there like this. I wasn't even looking at my cards. I just bet. And I would just bet. I just knew because I didn't have a royal flush, but I did have a straight flush. And what are the odds of somebody going to have, well, I had a straight flush, jack high. I thought, okay, I've got it. I hate this. These are all my notifications, and they like to all come in at once. Well, anyway, oh my God. Well, anyway, so I'm sitting here playing, and I'm just like this, and I'm just betting, and I'm not even looking at my cards. Well, someone told me neither was the guy, but I thought he was bluffing because I had a straight flush jack high. Just looking straight dead at him. Son of a bitch, that was his first time having a royal flush. Pissed me off. I was royally pissed. I was arrogant as fuck. I'll never forget that day. I will never forget that day. I will never forget that day. But it wasn't bad because when I started out the night, I think it was only a $200 buy-in. So, but I lost a lot of money that night. A lot of money. I should have just turned in my chips. But people tend to get pissed when you know. Oh, I know that was hard. It was. I mean, everybody thought for sure. And straight faced, wasn't watching. I never got that cocky again. I never did. I never did. My hubby buff's good. Now there were some that I could bluff with, because they didn't know any better. They didn't know, because my thing is, this is what I do when I sit down to play. I purposely lose about 5 or 6 hands because I want to know what their tells are. So I literally will purposely lose 5 or 6 hands because I want to see how everyone else acts. And then I start making my moves. And I'm also one, I know when to just say, throw them in. Throw them in. But that's what I do. So there's some who aren't as experienced who they let everything just fly. They let all their tells fly. And you can tell who are the more experienced players and who aren't. Dead serious. And that's how I do it. But it's with those experienced players, Damn. You can sit at a fucking table for 18 hours, and I can't do it nowadays. When I was younger, I could. Mine happened on 50. Mine's already won 400, but most the money back and was feeling so bad about myself. Then jackpot 1250. Hubby watches the players' mannerisms. Bam Bam, hello. Would you like up on panel? That's see, me and your hubby. Yeah, that's how I play. That's how I play all my card games. As I watch everyone else. I don't care. Applejack says hi. Applejack, hello. Um, that's I don't even care. I don't care if I'm playing rummy with you. Dead serious. Euchre, rummy, spades, it don't matter. That's how I play all my card games. I don't care if it's Uno. That's how I play all my card games. But poker, I will purposely lose 5 or 6 in a row. Does anybody like to play spades? I do. I was supposed to play last night, and for some reason they his online playing is funny. He has millions in his account. I wish it was real money. There are some real money accounts. I got $20 in mine. I believe it's $20. Bam Bam, do you want to up a panel? Sing a song to me, Applejack, Applejack. Dropping draw fours on your opponent, priceless. I can see you betting my cane in the midst of a moment of challenge and fury. Hell yeah. He's done that too, Les. Yeah, there's some that you can actually have. And it's addictive. Okay, Bam, I'll send it to your Twitter. It's addictive. I'm not kidding you. But there's also times where I've played with people that I felt sorry for them. That I've purposely like say, okay, we're sitting there playing, there's money in the check pot, and I've really felt sorry for the other person. And I won't even show my cards. They'll show theirs. And I'll just say you won. And I won't show my cards. I'll just say you got it. And somebody caught on to that one time. They said, you won, didn't you? And I said, yeah, I did. But they needed the money more than I did. So they really did. They needed the money more than I did. So oops. All right, let me get the link to you. But it wasn't a whole lot of money. I think it was about $100. But they needed it more than I did, so I still had money. Me and my girlfriend loved to play spades. Yeah, I was supposed to play last night with Dante and Chris and them, but they ended up going to Rita's water ice instead. Spades is great. Doc, get that cane up on the table. Cribbage is a fun card game to gamble on. I've never played cribbage, believe it or not. Look at Link slot machine is the devil. That's why there's no clocks in a casino, so you lose track of time. Girl, I'm telling you, you can sit there for, oh my God, you got to get up and move. I'd be all swollen. But I would lose track of time anyway, because I'd be too into the game. But I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that in years. Oh my god, I don't think I've done that in like, I think the last time was around 10 years ago, I think. 10, 12 years ago. Remember, the house always wins. I remember that. That's why I try to stop when I'm ahead. But sometimes when it comes to gambling, poker, that's why the casino brings around free drinks and tables, keep you there. Well, hours upon hours, it didn't have diabetic clock. Hell yeah. Hey, Bam Bam.
Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack. Hey, listen, you're having like serious shit with your hangouts. You see, these last couple of times, keep this in mind, Les. I've had to copy the message in Twitter, right? Send it to myself in Hangouts, and then click on from Hangouts because it's instantly closed down. It's saying um Safari cannot open this or whatever, Chrome cannot open this because there's too many redirects. So I'm copying the message, sending it to myself in Hangouts as a message to
Okay.
Bam Bam from Bam Bam, and then clicking on it to get on.
Okay. Yeah, because some people can't even get on through Hangouts. I have to send it to their email.
Yeah, tell them to copy it and send it to themselves in Hangouts, and
Okay.
that's how they'll get on.
Okay. Yeah,
Are
because
you
for some
talking about the
reason,
time that you blackmailed me? Is that what I heard? The
I
time that
wish.
you said I'll send all your notes around the internet unless you give me a box of chocolates. Is that what you're
Oh,
talking about, Les? The
yeah,
blackmailing?
well, she sent me chocolates and I sent the nudes around anyway. So,
Yeah. And she charged everybody, money to look at them too. Terrible
oh,
person.
hey, if anybody was here at the time, those that were here probably remember them chocolates.
Yeah.
The
They
guys
don't
said
remember the
that.
nudes, they remember the chocolates.
Yeah, they don't screw the nudes. I want the
Yeah, screw
chocolate.
the nudes. We want the chocolate.
Wiggy says, I'll try that next time, Les. Yeah, if I send it through Hangouts, some people can't get on through Hangouts either. I have to really send it through email.
Send
If
it,
not, I'll
like
send
I
it through
said,
email.
whoever's listening, copy the message wherever you get it from and send it to yourself as a message to yourself from yourself in Hangouts. And then you'll be able to click the link and it'll just direct you straight into the under panel. There's none of this join and blah blah blah. I'm telling you, Hangouts is it's I don't know what's going on at the minute, but I'm crashing all over the place. 2 times a week I'm going down 2 and 3 times. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I really don't. I just know that sometimes it's not as easy for people to get on.
Yeah,
Just sending it through any willy nilly. It's either basically it's been through email.
yeah,
Um, if I try to send it myself through Hangouts, some can, some can't. I don't understand. I don't understand
what's
what's going
happened?
on.
Oh, there you are. It
Yeah,
just
I'm here.
went blank there.
Oh well, I'm so sorry. Can you hold the fort for a second while I use the restroom?
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Uh, Alrighty, because it's that LASIX thing.
Oh well, hang on a minute. Let me try and get into. Okay. So, hi, is everybody? Hope everybody's well. I'm just trying to find another device here so I can see what you guys are saying. You just give me 1 second here. Just let me try and sort something out. I'm so sorry. I'm so disorganized. I didn't expect to be on Les's panel tonight. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Twitter used to work, but now it's not. Yeah, it's like I say, anytime any of you are struggling to get in, copy the link, send it to yourself in Hangouts itself, and you should get in all right then. That's how I've had to do it the last 2 times. Makes it a bit difficult though when you're trying to get folk on your panel. Yeah, nice one, Snicker. Yeah, do you know what, Snicker? I've got another stalking situation, believe it or not. This time, I'm not even going to mess around with this one. This time, I'm going straight to, I'm waiting until it's an appropriate time. And I'll tell you all now. I'll tell you first. I'm going straight to the police for psychiatric intervention in regards to this, because this person is crazy. Apparently now, I want you all to be wary now. Apparently, I've caused someone to have open heart surgery, and there's such a sick patient. There's a button that is connected to the doctor's bedroom, and when they press this button, the doctor obviously helicopters from wherever he is straight to the nearest hospital of this patient and performs life-saving surgery, which I have caused someone to have this week. I've also caused someone to become almost shut down in their mind, and someone else to become financially ruined. And I'll tell you all how I did this. It wasn't magical powers, it was by asking them to leave my chat room. So there you go. That's the power that comes with my bloody chat room. And I've thought, okay, I've had enough of this crap. Now it's time for the professionals to do their job. I'm not putting up with this nonsense anymore. This is ludicrous. Accusing me of putting somebody into coronary failure for telling them to leave my chat room. Have you ever heard anything like that in your life? Absolutely not. Ziggy, I'm sick of it. I am really sick of it. I asked someone to leave the chat room. This was a few months ago for doxing someone. Yeah, I didn't even ask them to leave. I said, you're not allowed to do that. And from it, it's been bam this, bam that, bam the other, bam, 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 bam. Video after video with like 2 viewers. And then it came to a head, a couple of weeks ago. And I said, look, seriously, you need to back it off now. You need to quit this nonsense. So apparently I'm causing heart failures and people to become permanent vegetative state, and also financially ruined just by not coming into my chat room. So guys, if you aren't in my chat room, you need to get in fast, because apparently you turn into an overnight millionaire. You Les will be on it non-stop now, even when I'm not streaming. Les will be in there. So I've had enough. I'm going to be ringing the authorities as soon as it's an appropriate time. I'm going to be sorting that out. I'm fed up with this. Fed up with it now. Ludicrous. Have you heard about this, Les?
What?
I've caused someone to... Their heart problem is so serious. They've got a magic button that goes through to their surgeon's bedroom. And if they press this button, the surgeon just drops whatever he's doing and helipads into whatever nearest hospital there is for the patient and performs life-saving surgery on them. So I've caused this to happen this week. I've also caused somebody to become like permanent vegetative state. And I've also financially ruined someone by not allowing them in my chat room. So there you go, Les. Don't get on the wrong side of me, hon. Don't get on the wrong side of me.
I don't plan on it.
Have you ever heard such absolute crap?
No. Except for my friend Degeneration Nation here. I have to say hello to him. Degeneration Nation, hello. He says, hey there, thought I'd stop by and say hello before I start another video. How are you, Les? I'm doing great, Degeneration. How are you? He's my new friend.
He's a friend. I'm glad.
I've watched him for a while. for a long
Actually, I
while.
think I've heard you mention that name before.
Oh yeah, and I just love his sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been putting out videos, but he premieres them when he puts them out. So but it's like way early or late in the morning, depending on. It's during dark time where most people are in bed, and but I try to be there if I'm online. I'm there to watch him with him and stuff. He premiered one yesterday, and I was there watching it, and I just went to this person. I was like, oh my god, but I like him. I really do. So I just had to say hello real quick. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you've got someone that you like to say hello to.
Oh yeah, and Roasted Studios. Hello.
Well, you need to warn them now, Les, that be very careful to say hello to me, just in case I cause massive coronaries or something by maybe missing a
Yeah.
comment or what.
Apparently, Bam will. Well, that's why I have heart problems.
Yeah, of course.
It's Bam's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And I
because
can cause financial ruin as well.
oh yeah, she has
Don't forget that.
financially ruined me. I'm about ready to live in a tent
Because of me.
because of Bam.
Yeah.
I'm going to live in a tent because
I'll
she's
join
ruined
you.
it. Yes, I can't even afford water anymore, and I have a well.
Mm.
That's sad.
That's how dangerous I am.
That's how bad it is. I have my own well, and I can't even afford to drink out of my own well.
And I'll put you in a permanent vegetative state as well. So just
I
just
am
remember
there.
that. Just remember that.
I am purely on robot mode.
Just be careful now, or I'll have to really unleash the powers.
Oh,
I'm telling you what. Do you know what? Les can back me up. Any of you guys listening, Les, please. All joking aside, how many loonies have I attracted now?
what?
How many loonies have I attracted now?
She tracks them all. She
If
attracts
there's a loony on the loose, they'll find their way to me. Don't know what it is. Really don't. Fed up with it now, mate. Fed up.
She attracts every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
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 I thought I did. Nope.
You got no dog.
I attract the sane people. She attracts all the loonies.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Definitely do. Has April been in tonight?
No, I have not seen April for a while.
Yeah, I didn't. I went on tonight. I had too much to catch up with in here.
Well, I'm just doing my thing.
What do you think of Doris Day passing?
I didn't know until a little bit ago, and I'll be honest with you, I thought she already died.
I like Doris. She was a great animal advocate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's sad.
Yeah.
But I really did. I really thought she passed away.
Well, she stepped away from public life, didn't she? She just took a step back from public life, and she's dedicated these last. I think from her son Terry Melcher died, she's part of me dedicated herself to animals and animal rescue. So it's a great loss to the animal world. It's a great loss.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Generation says, do you remember the video I did on the guy I called Cotton Eye Joe? Yep. I found a video of a court appearance of his, and it does not disappoint. Oh my god. I can just imagine. Doris was amazing, said Roasted. Connie says, hi, Snickers. Ziggy's smiling. Ziggy says, I don't think I'm a loony, but I could be wrong. Connie says, I loved her. Hate to hear she passed. Me too.
Is that Connie Baldwin?
Yeah.
Yay, Con. I love you.
Oh, I thought you could see the chat.
Hmm?
I thought you could see the chat. I'm sorry.
I did, but it's hard for me to see.
Yeah, that is true. Bam is as blind, if not blinder, than I was. Connie says, howdy, howdy, Bam. I love you too. Yeah. So I've just been doing my own thing, trying to get them done. I'm trying to do a series, but I'm doing it all at once, and then I got to chop it up.
Yeah.
So it takes time.
Do you want me to do that ad for you? Because you've got to send me pictures. If you sent me some pictures, I can go ahead and do the ad.
Well, I have to get them all done first. I have to get it all done and then decide where I'm going to cut one off, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we can do it
Yeah.
because I'm going to be releasing them like a day, like if I like Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Mm.
Sunday, you know, a
Now,
day
is this
after.
about the doors, Les, or is this
No, this
the
one
sovereigns?
is about the sovereigns.
Okay, all right.
It's going to be called A History and Explanation.
Mm.
And it gets really convoluted, so I'm trying to not make it so confusing.
Yeah.
Because we can get to the confusing stuff later.
Mm-hmm.
But it does tend to get convoluted, and so I'm trying to keep it straight because there's a lot of people who have commented said I've never heard of this before. You know, so
I
they're,
hadn't. It's all new to me. I've
yeah, in
learned about it
England,
too.
there was a guy who responded to me from England and said, "We don't have that here in England. What is this bollocks?" And I was like, "No, it's called Free Man on the Land, FMOTL." And see, we're not. See, this is what I tried to explain to this person that United States, we are not a area of the Queen.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we don't have Queen Elizabeth on the back of our coins
Mm.
or back of our dollars or anything
Mm.
like that. But like Canada does, England does, Australia does, but even Germany's in on it now.
On the sovereign citizen thing.
On the sovereign, they're called free men on the land. So of course, any region that belongs to the Queen,
Mm-hmm.
they can't be a sovereign citizen
Got you.
because the Queen is sovereign.
Got you. Are they trying to have Queen's law? Is that what they're trying to go by? Queen's
No,
law?
they're trying to go back to in the United States is the original Articles of Confederation.
Okay.
Now, the free man on the land is the same concept,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't be called sovereign.
Mm.
They already have a sovereign.
Yeah.
We don't have a sovereign here.
Mm.
But still, in the context that they're taking it, there really could be, but it would just going against the Queen, they would be arrested like right now.
Yeah, it would be treason, wouldn't it? It'd be
Yeah,
total treason.
yeah,
Mind you, that doesn't apply here anymore. You know, as long as it's not a British person. If I was to go down to London and shout, Queen Elizabeth's a fake, I would be arrested straight away. But if somebody that wasn't British born and bred shouted things like that, they would be, yeah, fine, off you go. We're held to, the laws, but other cultures aren't, shall we say.
yeah. Well, that's awesome because it used to
Mm.
be, you can't say anything against the Queen, and and I'm fascinated by England anyway. You know that I would
Yeah,
never say anything against the the palace or anything like that. And I'm not even, even though I do have some heritage there, I don't, um, I'm not from there or whatever. But I guess it would be the same as here. I may not like who's in office. I may
mm.
not like who is king or queen, but I respect the position.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Well, you're
and
like this, but truthfully, our last greatest ruler here that really was for Britain and for England, for God and country, was Queen Elizabeth I. That was the last great ruler we had.
I was hoping you'd say that because I was going to say, in my opinion, it was
She
the
was.
first.
She was the original. Like what we've got now is that the controversy about the origin. We've got a Greek prince and we've got a German descendant.
Yeah,
However, you've got to go right back to that's Elizabeth.
the
She
first.
was that's our sovereign. That's the real sovereign.
I
Elizabeth
always
the
thought that.
first.
I always thought that.
Mm-hmm. She
The
was
Tudor, the
Les.
last of
You've
the
got to get
Tudors.
to Britain. You've got to get here and get yourself down to well, we could take you to Portsmouth and Hampton Court. That was her favourite palace.
Uh-huh.
Um, but there's still some. I'll tell you this. You'll love this. about 2 years ago, off the coast of Cornwall, they found a sunken like case, a big heavy case, and it had obviously come off one of the boats that had sunk at Portsmouth or wherever, but it
Hmm.
had washed up at Cornwall, right? It was in a box, and there was this big heavy leather case in it, and she had been one of Queen Elizabeth's ladies in waiting, right?
Oh
Now
wow.
the clothes inside it were pristine, absolutely pristine. Nothing was damaged. There was no water damage. No, these had obviously been airlocked.
Oh wow.
And in the skirts, right, because her name was stitched into it, and she was actually one of Elizabeth's ladies in waiting. And I think it was when Liz was Bess. Do you remember they called her
Yeah,
Bess?
that's yeah.
Bess. Well, it was. It said handmaiden to Bess, daughter of our ruler, sovereign Henry, whatever. But she didn't have her title then. Don't forget, because they were trying to say she was illegitimate and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Anyway, inside one of the pockets, and this is what you'll love. They in the skirts now, in the skirts, the petticoats of the skirts, there was a pocket sewn in, and there was a bit of paper with her name, and it was wrapped around a head lice comb, and that actually, so we know now for a fact that even royalty in those days, they didn't use brushes and what they used head lice combs to try and get the lice out of their hair.
Well, yeah, they didn't bathe like we do today.
Hmm. So that was found, and as I say, the materials they're in pieces, because don't forget they had to stitch these things together, and you know that they wore the same dress for maybe 2 years, just flipping around the top and the bottom of it.
Oh,
But the materials are all pristine, and
oh
you should see
wow.
the colors somewhat in this. For my goodness, it's amazing. I remember finding it, and I thought, oh God, I'll have to send that to Les. I think it might have been around Christmas when all that nonsense happened, and I got distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that were found, and it was when she was Bess. Because for any of you that don't know, we didn't always call her Princess Elizabeth. She was Bess, Henry's daughter, because they were trying to rule her as illegitimate to put Mary, Queen of Scots, on the throne, and but it was really Elizabeth the First that really was the best ruler that we ever had, and we got her in the end.
Oh yeah, she's always been my favorite. I know
Mm.
they try to say that oh, Queen Victoria was. I was like Queen Elizabeth the First. But I don't live in that country. But to me, as an outsider, I would think Queen Elizabeth the First was the one of the greatest queens,
Oh,
greatest
she
rulers, greatest
she
rulers England's ever
built
had.
up the navy, didn't she? Her dad started the navy, and she built it up. She also stopped the war in between the two churches, the Protestant and the Roman Catholic. She allowed the Roman
Hmm.
Catholic churches to keep on practicing.
Hmm.
Um, she was brilliant. She defended England as well. That was what she wanted, England to be Great Britain.
Hmm.
And that's where we got for Queen and Country. That came from Elizabeth, and she was way ahead of her time.
She truly was, and for a
Yes,
woman who was never left England, she was extremely cultured.
that's right.
And she spoke I don't know how many languages,
12, 12
and
languages.
true polyglot. And of course, the Spanish Armada,
Mhm.
the defeat of the Spanish Armada is infamous. I mean, that definitely went down in history.
Now, do you know when they were at Portsmouth Dock? Do you know Elizabeth had her own armor made, and
Hmm.
she led the battle charge? And now it's written down, so we know that this is recorded.
The
She
most
held her
famous
sword up,
speeches of all time.
yeah, and she said, "For I am a virgin, and I am a Protestant, and I am Queen of England," and that's what she said. She was the Virgin Queen. That was where it came from. But she was there with her sword ready to. She was ready to go to battle. She was going to fight. She were leading the men into battle.
Well,
Mm?
in
She was amazing. Hmm?
that speech she gave was just, she's like, I will be with you whether we die together or live together. I will be with you, and she was right there.
She used
Um,
to hunt their own dinner, you know. Elizabeth would have went out and hunted. She was faster than any horseman, and she could, use an arrow as well as her greatest archers. Like, she was like a jack of all trades. She was a musician, a poet, a painter. She was bilingual. She could write. She translated biblical passages. I mean, the woman was amazing.
mhm.
And look at what we've got now.
Well, I don't think that. I think technology has a lot to do with a lot of that. Why do it when you can have a computer do it for you?
I do hope you get to see Britain, Les. You would enjoy going around your rooms. There are some places that are still open to the public where you can visit rooms where Elizabeth, where we know she stayed, and Shakespeare's cottage. Well, Anne Hathaway's cottage. We know that she stayed there at one time as well. They call it the Royal Chamber, and that was where Bess actually slept. The bed is still there. So you would love it. It's like taking a walk through history, really.
Mm. I would love to go to England just for all the historical stuff.
Hmm.
I really, really would. I
Oh,
just don't know if I would survive. I don't know if I could eat the food. um, because you're. I don't know. I guess you would just have to get used to their just like chips here
Les,
are
you
potato
don't
chips,
eat
chips there are
like
French fries.
mugs and shit like that. There is Domino's here, and you know what I mean. We're not really behind the times. We've got
No,
chocolate, we've
no,
got fries.
I know there's stuff that I like here that you can't get in England,
Mm.
and I don't even know if I can ship it to you because some of it's cold and stuff.
You
So,
won't be able to, mate. It'll
you
stop.
know,
They'll not let it in. They'll not let it in.
see
I
that.
had to disguise your chocolate. Don't forget, I had to say that was makeup. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a shame.
Mm.
That truly is. That really sucks.
I would like you to see the history though for
I
yourself.
do. I would love to. You have no idea.
I know, I know. Don't forget, we spent what 7 hours one night talking about
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
One
we
person
did.
left the chat.
I just it just it just the richness, and let's face it, our country was founded from there.
Mm.
Not everybody in this country is from there, but the beginnings were,
Yeah,
and those the American Indians that were here, we're the only ones that occupied until all these other countries started coming over and stuff. You got the Spanish. I think that was
British.
yeah, I think that was the next invasion was the Spanish invasion. Um,
You got a lot of Dutch and that, didn't you? There was a lot of Dutch people,
mhm, mhm.
Swedes. Yeah,
Yeah, and then everybody now we're all just a big old mixture, and hell, we could be related to our pine tree out back. You never know. I mean, it's just there is no, there never was. This is what I don't understand. Everybody said there's a concept. You're American,
mm.
okay? If you were born here, you're American. You're American. That doesn't
America.
that doesn't necessarily mean that that's your heritage.
Yeah.
Like mine is second generation off the boat from Spain,
Hmm.
but I was born in America,
Yeah.
and so you're American.
Yeah. I get
You
you.
know, you understand?
Hmm.
Mom, we're mainly Nordic. We have like one German in the family. One Englishman or whatever, but basically we're mainly Nordic, and on my dad's side is Spanish.
Hmm.
So, there's a difference between what your nationality is, which is American,
Mm-hmm.
and what your heritage is.
Yeah,
And so there was never one heritage in this country.
that's right. Yeah.
But just like if I was born in England, I'd be English.
Well, it's like my son. He was born in Scotland. Now, on the deeds, Benedict is registered as a Scots, but he's not. He lived there for what, 9 months, and then we moved to England, and he hates Scotland. But he's you know the, he's done as a Scots, but he's not. He's English.
It's English. I understand. I understand all that. Then people need to understand there's different. There's a. That's why people sometimes they have to know what they're saying at
Your
times.
nationality isn't your ethnicity. That's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not your heritage. Um, but I know when my dad's family came over,
Mm,
his his mother and all them, you were American. You weren't Spanish anymore. They were
yeah.
not allowed to speak Spanish. My dad was not allowed to speak Spanish. He was born in America. He's American. They moved here. They're American now. They were never allowed. Um, Now my grandma did.
Mm,
My grandma spoke it. They knew how to speak it, but dad was never taught Spanish.
yeah.
You're American now, and that's how my dad is. We were never allowed to use, and I don't to this day, use my Spanish background. I could,
Mm.
you know, but I don't.
That it's got its advantages and disadvantages, but I think, like here at the minute, if someone is claiming that they need to live in Britain, right, and they need Britain's taxpayers' taxes to survive, then they really should respect our culture. They should respect our ways, and they should speak our language. If they want our coin, then they should, be respectful enough of the country to learn our language and communicate. So I know what you're saying, but I'm British. I've lived here all my life. I don't want to go somewhere and have to have a translator speak for me
Yeah.
in a hospital or a dentist or in my own country. I don't want that. Our primary language should be English here.
Oh, that's the way it should be.
Uh-huh. I agree.
I totally believe that. If you're wanting our benefits, the least you can do is respect my country,
Yes. Oh, yes.
and so many don't.
We talk in the same language, honey.
Hey, but teach his own.
Mm,
You know, but I love the British history. I am probably almost as fascinated with British history as I am ancient Egypt.
yeah. Well, it's so rich here, isn't it? It's been inhabited for years. And the first language here wasn't even English. It was, I don't know whether it was ancient Aramaic or what, but the language has evolved along with the people. And this place,
Mhm.
it dates back. My goodness, we've had people living here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. There's a lot to learn.
Yep. Well, let's face it. Even in the time of Jesus, 2,000 years ago, England was a country, and
Hmm.
I mean, Joseph of Arimathea was from England. He lived in England,
Yeah.
um, and he's the one
And
that.
I was there causing people to go into cardiac arrest and
And there
stuff.
you
Let's
were,
don't
right
forget.
there back then too.
Yeah, magical me. I've been around that long. Very powerful. Very powerful, Les. Very powerful.
Um, that's pretty sad, man.
Mm.
That is sad.
I'm being deadly serious, mate. That's why I'm awake. I'm just rolling the cigarette at the minute, but that's why I'm hanging on. I'm waiting until it's respectful hour, and then I'm going to the police and I'm asking for psychiatric intervention because this, I'm not taking this. I'm not being accused of this. This is absolute bullshit. Putting people in hospital and turning people into human, a permanent vegetative state, and financially destroying people for asking them to leave my effing chat room. How do you work that out?
Isn't that slander?
Yes, it is slander, and it's malicious communication as well. That's why I'm going to the police, and I'm going to say you can either arrest or you can get some psychiatric intervention, because this person is actually making me quite creeped out. The obsession now is so bad that I would think this person is the kind of person that would jump out of a tree out my front, with spiders on their hair and stuff like that. And that's what's concerning me. My kid lives here, so I'm not having it. That's it. Sit down, having enough now of it, Les. Many times have I turned a blind eye to things before.
I know it's been quite a few. I I just pretty much do my own thing now, so I don't pretty much pay attention to anybody anymore. I think it'll just raise my blood pressure. Besides, I'm off doing other things.
The problem with this, Les, is these videos are going up daily. These accusations are going up daily, and you know yourself, there's one person that's twisted enough to want to believe that, so they'll run with it. Obama caused somebody to have a heart attack. Did I hell? That's what's bothered me.
Well, that one movie you sent me caused me to have a heart attack.
I know, but I couldn't help it, love. I was just overtaken with passion.
That was pretty funny. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Doc
that's just our
asked me,
secret
what were
type,
you,
Les.
the doc, I love it when they ask, what were you doing at the time of your heart attack?
Oh.
One time I got smart and said, having a heart attack. I was out running a 5K run. Do I look like I was exercising, people? Really? No, I tell them, I moved furniture or this and that. And the last time when I say, I said, there's this Bam Bam Big Mouth on YouTube, and she sent me a nude. And he asked me if he can get a copy of it. I said, it gave me a heart attack. What would it do to you?
Now, Les is telling porkies, because the last time Les was really poorly, she was online. Bam Bam was there. And she nearly had another one whenever I caught up with her on the phone a couple of days later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I tell ya. Anna says, I lived in London for 5 weeks, studied the legend of King Arthur at King's College, loved it there.
Who was this?
Anna Grissom.
Nice.
Yeah, she's mentioned that before. Anna, let me ask you a question. Do you believe King Arthur really existed? Ma'am, do you think King Arthur really existed?
I think there was a king called Arthur. I'm not sure. I think the legend was built around the Locksley legend, romanticized things. It could have been when we had a very bad ice, because ice is what makes potholes in the ground. So somebody's sword could have been left on a stone, and the ice has cracked the stone, and the sword has kind of fitted in. And this is where we get this legend business from, because the dragon thing, I know that we've got reptiles that they can breathe fire. Whatever bacteria they've got in their breath can catch fire. It's just little tiny fires. It's not big giant dragons blowing fire.
Yeah.
There are some reptiles can do that. I think there was a leader that was called Arthur. I'm not sure, Les. I wouldn't dispute it though. Like I say, the legend is something that's been built, because that's around Locksley's time, isn't it? That's around the Robin Hood time.
Well, no, it's actually a little bit before then. It was around the time of.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of Richard. Sorry, I'm thinking Richard the Lionheart. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
It was around the time of Merlin.
Yeah.
And they believed Merlin really existed.
The alchemist.
And yeah. And I did a thing on him real quick. And but they believe that a Merlin really existed that could have been, but they never linked Merlin with an actual king.
Yeah.
Although they did say he was an advisor to a king. So,
Well,
you
you
know,
had Ursula Shipton, and Ursula she was the first recognized seer here, and we're going back to Henry VIII time. And Ursula, this is all documented for anybody that doesn't believe me.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she said, "Man will communicate by the touch of a button." Now, buttons they were buttons on coats and stuff at that time. So for her to use that word, that's dodgy in itself. But she said that. She said, "Man will have metal birds that fly in the sky." That was airplanes. And man will communicate through, I can't remember the word she said, but that was basically the internet. Now she predicted all these things, and she predicted that Henry was gonna he was going to be defeated at something, or he was going to die. And she said, he was sending his henchmen down to arrest her because, as I say, she was the first recognized seer, and he didn't like what she was saying. So she'd said, "You'll never reach me." And when they got to the bridge in Yorkshire, the carriage that was carrying them overturned. One of them was decapitated. The other one was thrown into the water and drowned. So nobody would go near Ursula again. But that's just like a small fraction of what she did. She basically predicted everything. She predicted World War I, World War II, and all of this is documented. So at that time we didn't have the great technology, and we didn't have as much science. They did rely on herbs and magic, and they believed in these things. And I really don't know. I'm not going to dispute anything, though, because these things have been being documented for hundreds and hundreds of years. Not everybody was wrong. Not everybody was wrong. Merlin, yeah, I would say he did exist. I would say he was an alchemist, though. He probably somebody that dabbled in herbs and, like a doctor of sorts in those days. But yeah, definitely do believe that Merlin existed.
Yeah, there's more than enough evidence that he did. Now, whether he made Stonehenge, because they started saying, I remember one tale of how Stonehenge was made. They said that Merlin walked the stones in place, but I think Stonehenge was way before Merlin's time, so that was out.
Well, they've got more stones there, with the radar that they've put on it recently. There's like a second set of stones.
Yeah.
Now, what if this is like a clock? What if this thing moves?
You never know.
Like we just don't know what Stonehenge is for.
So when they tried to tell me that Merlin did Stonehenge, I was like, that didn't work. But there is evidence that Merlin existed, and like I said, it was said that he was an advisor to a king. They never said which one, and he dealt with many.
Yeah.
He was an advisor to many kings. But the Legend of Arthur, from the time he was a young kid until the time he died, Merlin was his right hand guy, and so, but they never found proof that Sir Lancelot existed, and they haven't really found proof of Arthur existing, except for the fact that, like you said, that there may have been a king whose name was Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a king that united North and Southern England together,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow they were united, and that the Knights of the Round Table was born, and I think it was just I think it was actually from everything that I'm learning about that, and there's probably tons I don't know, of course. There is tons I don't know. But I think what it was is that I think it was a suitable time because England was just in disrepair
Mm-hmm.
at at a certain point in time. I mean, north, south, everybody, it was just chaos.
Yeah.
And that I think it was a combination of several kings
Yes, I was about to say that. Yeah.
that brought England united
Mm-hmm.
and that developed this chivalrous and nobility, um, and the dragon, so-called the dragon. Um, and the dragon, I don't think was the actual flying dragon.
No,
I believe it was what they consider like the Star Wars, the Force.
like a metaphor. Metaphor
Yeah,
for.
the dragon
Yeah.
was the embodiment
Mm-hmm.
of what chivalry should be,
Yeah.
and he oversaw that, and
And
he
then the
controlled it.
legend is built around that, like Locksley. Robin Hood supposedly, he was this great guy. Well, actually, the Sheriff of Nottingham was a lot more trustworthy and reasonable than Locksley was. Locksley was a lord's son. He was a
Mhm.
rapist.
Oh, he was an asshole.
Mm-hmm. He would have cut your throat and took your earrings off you, and then raped your body.
Yeah, he wasn't as noble as everybody thought he
That's
was.
right. And the Sheriff of Nottingham said, "Okay, we've had enough of this. We're not letting him off anymore. He's going to be, tried and treated like every other prisoner."
Oh,
But obviously, there were some people for him, there were some people against him. And he may have done one good thing to somebody, like it gave them an egg. And that's where, oh yeah, well, he gave to the poor. And this is where the legend has built around it, because we romanticize things here, but they were outlaws, and they were dangerous outlaws. And Maid Marian was forced to marry Locksley. And I live in Nottingham, and for all intents and purposes, Marian poisoned him to get rid of him. He was
yeah,
he was done in by poison.
yeah. But honestly, I think the myth around Arthur is so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Go to Manchester. The round table is there. We know the round table exists. We know that. Anna says the round table is real. We have the photos in Manchester. We know.
Yeah, but there could have been one night from every 200-300 years where, this is where these legends are born from. And like I say, there's an awful lot of romanticism put into these stories.
Yeah, just like there's no evidence of Lancelot.
That's right.
There is none. Even in the legend itself, you can't prove he existed because it never gave where he came from. Supposedly, in legend, he supposedly had a wife and kids, and then another telling of the legend, he was just found.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, look at Elizabeth the First, right? Like when
uh-huh.
she was still Bess, when she was political prisoner. Remember, she was kept in the Tower of London, and then she wasn't she like under house arrest in one of her palaces?
Oh yeah, she was taken
Yeah,
from one thanks to Queen Mary.
that's what I were just gonna say. When she was writing to Mary, right now, this is how bad it was, now, and I'm going back, Elizabeth. This is relatively recent compared to where we've been going. You could have been executed for writing a letter. If you'd have said, I don't agree with our sovereign's rule or our sovereign's opinion on this, you could have been burnt at the stake, because that was one of the punishments. So when Elizabeth was corresponding, and she used to have to hide her letters in the wine barrels. She used to have to, tack them into the inside of the lid of the wine barrel to have it sent out. And then whoever it was that was filling this barrel would have found her letter. That would have been passed on. But she used to, when she'd finished writing, she would have written, from Bess and the date, whatever. Then she would have put lines the whole way down the page so that nobody could add to that letter and have her executed. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're going back and looking at the validity of someone's existence, that there could have been a King Arthur that the people loved and then the government didn't love, or it could have been opposite way around. But nobody could really safely document him for fear of being executed, because those kind of things did happen. That's why a lot of our history is very sketchy, because they weren't allowed to write the truth. If they were caught writing the truth, they would have been executed straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Like Henry, right? Henry was so riddled with diabetes. At the end of his life, he was ulcerated all up his legs, and they stunk because they didn't have antibiotics in those days.
Oh yeah, and they'd always have to slant them, and it stunk,
And we
and
didn't have water either, Les. We used to drink alcohol. You couldn't have drunk
yeah,
water then because it was full of poison.
yeah, you can't drink the water, and
Hmm?
not to mention he suffered from hallucinations all his life anyway. I
Yeah,
don't,
he
I
was
don't think he was totally in his right mind.
he was epileptic and diabetic. We know that for a fact now.
Yeah,
Going back, they've actually got scientific proof now that. But when his doctors, well, what did they call them then? The physician, they didn't know, the apothecary. When the
yeah,
apothecaries would have come, they couldn't say, look, these ulcers on your legs smell bad. Now you could smell Henry 4 rooms away in that palace, and I think it was Hampton Court. I'm sure it was Hampton Court, but 4 rooms away you could smell him. He was rotting flesh,
oh yeah,
maggot infested, ulcers. And if you think about it, Les, the size of him, he was over 6 foot
oh yeah,
and 400 pounds.
oh yeah. Towards
So
the end of
that
his life.
that was a big man, and he stunk. Basically, he stunk to high heaven. And they used to have to, and this is what they did. This will make you sick. They used to perfume handkerchiefs and
Yeah,
stuff them into their mouths, so that they already had the gag reflex because the smell of them was so bad. Now they couldn't document that in their books, because if Henry had have seen it, they would have been executed straight away. So they had to lie to him, and oh yes, it doesn't smell that bad. You must be smelling something under the bed or whatever. Blah blah blah. It was only after Henry's death that they could start putting that down in documentation, and still they ran the risk of being done for treason.
exactly,
So,
exactly. Because his son Edward, although he did not rule long,
mm,
Edward is an asshole
well,
for
he
sure.
was brainwashed, wasn't he? He was
Yeah, he
brainwashed for
was.
the
He was,
church.
he was brainwashed.
Hmm.
Um, but Henry's reign. Henry's reign is remembered because he was a tyrant from hell, and Elizabeth's reign is remembered because she was really a great woman, and Queen Mary, her reign is remembered because it's one of the bloodiest times.
Bloodiest. Yeah, Bloody Mary.
And then Edward's just eh. I just thought it was funny. I mean, really, honestly, it was actually his daughters that were
Just,
infamous
yeah.
in their own right, and his son was just a eh.
But
You
don't
know,
forget, Henry was all right at the beginning of his reign
yeah, he was.
until the accident.
People don't know this. Yeah, he was king by accident.
That's
His
right.
brother was king,
Hmm.
was due to be king, and he was killed. But he was married to Queen Catherine.
That's, yeah.
Well, at the time was not queen at the time, but he was married to Catherine. So Henry, in doing his duties, married her
Mhm.
because when his brother married her, they hadn't consummated the marriage yet. He
Yeah,
was off to war, and he ended up dying. And so married. So King Henry married Catherine. Now King Henry, when he first started out, was a handsome man and like a rock star.
that's
He was
right.
in very good shape,
Yep.
very athletic.
And he was like
He
6 foot
was
tall, which was unheard of in those days.
good looking.
Hmm.
He was literally a rock star, and he enjoyed his role. And so he married Catherine, and they had Mary. Well, it's because of Elizabeth's mom that he threw all this fit, and he's trying to say, Catherine and his marriage was not real. It was fake. This
He
and that.
wanted a
She had
son.
already
That was the
consummated,
problem. He wanted a son.
and he wanted a son.
Hmm.
He had one son that was a bastard child, but he actually had two, I think, and they both died.
His son that took the throne after him, the one that you've just spoke about, the young one that was
Edward.
brainwashed, Edward. That was it.
Now
He
he was from his last marriage, or second to the last marriage. Um, he was from what's her face, and she died in childbirth.
No, she died after it, didn't she? The
Oh
placenta
yeah, it
stayed
was shortly
inside her
after it.
and ruptured, didn't it?
Yeah, it was shortly after it.
Hmm.
But that child was so protected.
Yeah,
Henry had him so protected from all germs, disease, or anything. He never built up an immune system to anything,
that's right. That's right.
and
And he
that's
got
what
tuberculosis and died.
how he died because he
Hmm.
got, he had no exposure.
But Henry was a great ruler up until the Jousting accident.
Yeah,
And after that, that's what we think. Going back through what's documented is when that kicked in the epilepsy massively. And he started to me, it sounds like he stroked. And he was never the same. His eyesight was affected. His appetite was changed, which again would, the diabetes, thyroid problems, and he started to blow out in weight, and then he became this tyrant, you know.
hmm
So, but that's, you can't say, it's mental illness or paranoid schizophrenia because it came after the accident. We know that that's documented, but he was a good ruler up until then.
yeah.
So,
But he did suffer from hallucinations. I'm not saying he was paranoid
mhm,
schizophrenic. It's just that it was something that did, and that is documented too. Now, when it started, don't know. It was probably after the fact, with his epilepsy, but I do know that he was haunted by hallucinations, and that
probably
is,
lead poisoning too, Les.
I
Because
would,
they're putting lead and all into, if somebody had a scratch, they were trying to clean it with lead, and
yeah,
they're burning them. That have burnt you, that have cleansed you by fire.
yeah,
Um, so like how you got past 35 in those days, I've no idea.
yeah. It's now Snickerdoodle says, I know the royal family was incest. Which one had the deformities due to this?
So
There's been deformities throughout the whole line
Richard,
due to incest.
I think she's talking about Richard the Third, isn't she? The one with the scoliosis and what?
It's good. It could be.
Mm. There was a
No.
lot of incest in
Yeah.
those days.
Yeah. It could. No. Was it the third?
I think it was. There's one of them. One of the big giveaways for incest is these extremely long chins.
Yeah.
And that was a whole ruling family had this. The kids all had these extraordinarily long chins and high foreheads, and that is one of the physical appearances of inbreeding. Um, I honestly can't remember which one it was, but I'm sure it was Richard, isn't it? It was Richard the Third, the one they found in the car park a few years ago. he had the hunchback. The War of the Roses.
I didn't think that he lived long enough. I thought he died.
He died in battle. The War of the Roses.
No, that's the second one.
Was that Richard II?
I think that was Richard II.
Well, him anyway.
Well,
There's
yeah. 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 Because they yeah, it's interesting what they're finding when they're digging up this the nowadays what they're digging up and they're finding this stuff, you know. But there's always been deformities when they had incest. When they were, but after a certain time, the incest wasn't so much there anymore. I know truly you can tell there was no incest in the time of King Henry VIII.
Oh God, no.
You know, so
no chance.
Now that's if you're talking about English rulers. There's other countries, of course, with kings and queens that I don't think they still do the incest, marry your sister or your cousin today. I don't think they do that today.
They did do it to keep the bloodline pure, didn't they?
But that's why they did it. It was because this was the royal line.
Yeah.
And
even not the, I was going to say sovereign houses, the lords and lords of the lands and what. Well, they would have married cousins and brother and sister. That went on a lot.
Yeah.
Years and years ago.
Yeah, and that's where they got the hemophilia.
That's right.
A little prick can bleed to death. There was no blood clotting because they were so refined in the fact that they did keep it within the family. But nowadays, because even in Egyptian time, they were marrying their sister, to keep the line clean, to keep the line royal. And what they did is they did themselves in doing it that way. But especially today, I know, of course, with Britain, that's not the case today at all. There's no incest going on. And by the way, congratulations to Harry and Meghan Markle on their little bundle of joy. So, what's his name? Have they named him yet?
No idea. Don't know.
I don't think they named him yet. I don't think the naming happens until the baptism or something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not really that bothered anymore by them, Liz.
Well, I know it wasn't as big a stink as when Charles and Archie. Yeah, that's right, Archie. Thank you, Tardy B. Hello. That's right, it's Archie. Why? Really? Where did they get Archie from? Archibald. Anyway, congratulations to them on their bundle of joy. So anyway, yeah, the English Times, just like they believe they found the two boys.
That's right.
They believe they found the two boys that were. I think Richard had everything and anything to do with that. I think he had everything and anything to do with it. But I think he can convince himself that he was this, like some of them do, Bam, like they'll do something, but in their mind they're
right. Yeah.
They're innocent and, because he always said I had nothing to do with it. But off to the side, he did it. I think
they were two little blonde, pure white blonde, practically albino blue-eyed boys.
Yeah. So
it just goes to show you, really, we really can't trace back the origins of the royals. But I would say the last proper line ends with Elizabeth I. It's a shame that she didn't go on to have children, but she was the last great ruler, a proper monarch that we've had in this country. And I don't care who likes it or who doesn't like it. That's my opinion.
And just think where the line her dad
Mhm.
came from um oh God, what was her name? It was Henry the Sixth. His mom. I can't think of her name right now.
I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend to
It was
guess.
during the time of the King Richard and King Edward and the War of the Roses.
Yeah,
It was his mom, King Henry the Sixth. Um, it was her son who ended up coming back and taking over. Well, anyway, that line there was never, ever, ever, ever supposed to rule.
yeah,
It was that they were illegitimate and they were never, ever, ever supposed to rule. And out of that line ended up King Henry VIII and Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth.
yeah,
And that's where it died.
yeah. That's right.
The other line were Queen Mary of Scots, and then now that line was supposed to rule.
Hmm.
She is the cousin to King Henry VIII. They're cousins, and that line of the Tudor, because she was originally a Tudor of that line, they were supposed to rule anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting.
Well, the royal household changed, didn't it? You know, you went and stabbed the king, and
Yeah,
then you king, you took the crown. So going back genetically, from we first started to elect sovereign rulers, I think that Les, you could be closer to the exact bloodline that was the first sovereign rulers than what we are now. Put it that way. Like Diana's blood heritage was closer to James the 1st than what the Windsors is.
yeah.
So
'Cause James the First was of that line because he
yeah,
was Queen Mary of Scots' grandson,
yeah. And that's
and
what Diana's bloodline, hers goes dates back to there.
yeah, and they were the ones that were supposed to rule. And it was
Hmm.
after Queen Elizabeth he took over. Have a book on six wives of Henry VIII. Yeah, I would not have wanted to be a wife. What's up with this theory about them being lizards or they can morph or something like that? That is a conspiracy theory. And it has to do with people who believe that we are invaded and that is from the reptilian race and that's where all the leaders in the world are reptilians in disguise.
Yeah.
That's where that came from. I can do a thing on that. I
Well,
plan
just
on
look down somebody blinking on TV and they go, "Oh, look, it's a lizard's eye," and it's
yeah.
some poor bugger that's just managed to get caught blinking.
Or
Uh,
somebody licking their lips, like I do it all the time. Am I a
mhm.
lizard? No. Yeah, that's where that came from. I had to go back over all this stuff and really go into it again. I really ought to.
The
Oh,
last time we started on this, we were here for 7 hours, and there was one person left in the chat room, and they said, "Will you two please stop? Because I don't, I want to hear it all, but I've got to get some sleep." Do you remember?
yeah, I won't be on that. We won't be doing it on those 7 hours, but there is a reason why that England is so fascinating to me. And it should be fascinating to the rest of the world. England has not to mention the extreme rich history, and not to mention that's where this country was based from England. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with the fact that, how do I want to put this without offending anyone or surprising anyone or this and that, but it has more to do with the fact that England does play a part if you want to believe, um, does play a part in things that are important when it comes to the conspiracies,
Mm-hmm.
or when it comes to the people ruling the world, controlling the world. England is smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah, if not at the top of it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at England from a different perspective. I've loved to look at the history, the richness. I mean, it is truly rich
Mm-hmm.
with all kinds of history. You name it, it's in England. It doesn't matter what went on in the world. It was in England too.
It's just like the epicenter, isn't it?
Yeah, it truly, truly is. No matter
Mm-hmm.
if you're into history like I am, or if you're into conspiracies like I am, or if you're into end times like I
Mythology.
am, it's there. And so a lot of things that you'll hear about, especially with conspiracy theorists, will come from England. And it is it is fascinating, but sometimes you got to take a step back, and not everything is black and white.
That's right.
Most of the stuff is gray. Very few things in this world is black and white. It truly is. It depends on how you look at it. And that's what makes England so fascinating. Here in America, in the United States, I should say, here in the United States, our history is only several, you know, 17 cents, so a couple thousand years old.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so we know everything. There's nothing mysterious
Yeah.
unless you go back to native times.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's when things get mysterious here in America. But as far as our history as we know it with us being here, it's all right there in the open.
Yeah.
But when you go to Europe, South America, Middle East, Asia, they're rich with it.
Mm-hmm.
And not everything is black and white, not like we are here in America.
Yeah.
Anna says, found all my books in storage from London. Good memories. Anna says, Bam Bam been to Nottingham too. They still have Lace Factory.
Uh-huh.
Love that
Yes, they do.
place.
Yeah, they still do. It's a lot smaller now, but they still got it.
And it's just fascinating.
You need
Fast.
to get over to England, for
I
a
know.
few weeks, and then you can take your time visiting
Well, if
some
I'd go for
places.
6 weeks.
Pardon?
I'd go for 6 weeks. My mom, like I said,
Mhm.
she has traveled the world by herself.
Yeah.
She's planned all her trips, all her hotels, her plane trips, everything. She's went by herself. There'd be no way in hell I'd do it. And she was younger than me when she did it.
Yeah. You and
But
Cindy could do it, though. You and Cindy could come over and, you know,
I would say she said you can't learn anything in a week or two. You got to stay at least 6 to 8 weeks.
yeah,
And I
and
said,
travel
really?
around looking at the oldest places that are still, basically untouched, like Whitby. Whitby hasn't changed in, now I would say 600 years. Of course, they've got technology there, but the cobbles and the cliffs are the same ones that have been there from Whitby's being a port. There's also the north. There is history in the south, but you got to remember they've built around the south.
Well,
So you go to the north, and those vast untouched spaces. That's where your history lies. That's where the history is, because it's still wild and untouched the way it was when Loxley was swinging through the trees. That's where you want to go. You want to visit because yeah, the problems did begin in the north. They did want to divide, and you're probably more likely to get more accuracy in the north.
I also want to visit the stuff that's not normal.
Hmm.
I'm one of those. I want to visit. There is, everybody knows that there's lines in the earth
Ley
that
lines.
that are like the prime. I don't want to call it the prime meridian, but the used to be where the used to be the zero line was. They moved it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where the original, what's on the original line.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that. I want to see that area. And you'd be surprised at what's along that original line.
Oh, I wouldn't be. I know what you're talking about. There's
Yeah.
a castle in, I think it's, I'm sure it's Denmark, and the it's hundreds and hundreds of years old. The bottom of it's sealed off. There's still an entrance way to it, but you're not allowed into it because this place was supposedly built by a king who'd done a deal with the devil, and this castle holds a gateway to hell, and it's sealed off. Nobody's allowed down it. But when they've went in with radar, there actually is some kind of giant mechanism that will open up. So it's like, okay, let's open it. Let's see what's in here. But there's a lot of like really strange, mysterious places that we don't hear about. You gotta dig before you find this out, and then you try and tell someone about it, and they think that you're crazy.
Girl, I
And
already
in
found
our
out
case,
about it.
pardon?
Girl, I said, girl, I already found out about it. That's the kind of stuff I want to go to also.
Exactly. I think you and me talked about this one night before, didn't we?
We may have. I think we did.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's Denmark or Hamburg. I can't remember. But then you've got that winter place in Germany too, where it's always wintry, and supposedly it's the Witch of Winter that brings the snows in, and it's been untouched for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. These trees are as old as the earth itself.
And they're
That's
scary.
Yeah, it's mysterious in itself.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff
Yeah,
that I would
see,
love to find out about.
we could do that together if I ever have the money to travel to England. I it's that kind of stuff that, along with the regular history, I'm fascinated with the regular history of England. It's the stuff that I found out about doing my, believe it or not, during Bible study, doing my
Yeah.
studying, that I want to see, and I've found out about them, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Well, that's the kind of stuff that's off the normal track. I want to know. I want to see it. You know?
Well, there's the wood in Norway, isn't there? And
Yes,
it's got a ley line.
it's
They
the
know for a
later on.
fact.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
And that traveling, didn't that gang, it was recent. We're going back like maybe 50, 60 years. This gang were backpacking through this wood, and the kids see there was like a big abandoned, I don't know, like a shed or a barn or something. And one of them goes for a wander away from their camp, and he can see lights on inside this barn. So he thinks, Lord, what's this? So he looks in, and everybody inside this barn is dressed in medieval costume. So he thinks this is some kind of fancy dress or what. He gets all excited, opens the door, bang. 2 or 3 months later, he wakes up and he's been in a coma, right? And as he opened the door, he put his right leg in to walk over the door. And then, as I say, he wakes up a couple of months later, he's been in a coma, and he's paralyzed all right down the right hand side. Now, at first, everybody's skeptical. They're thinking, where's this going? However, when his mates went to see where he'd gone, they seen the lights on in the barn. They seen the same people. And when they, found their mate lay collapsed outside the door, what's wrong, what's wrong. Instantly, boom, all of this disappeared. The people inside this barn just complete. Now, all of these people told the exact same story. They went to their graves swearing that this was the truth. And this guy suffered for the rest of his life with complete paralysis down the right hand side. Was that some kind of, like time slip? Is that ley line? Did that give some kind of time slip? And that guy very nearly crossed time. And that's why he collapsed and he's paralyzed on one side now because he actually nearly crossed over times. But that story's true. And you tell that to somebody in the pub, they'll say, oh, you need to stop drinking. And I say, yeah, I don't drink. But you know what I mean? That's true. That's actually documented.
That would have been that. I don't personally, I don't know if I would go up to a barn in the middle of the night with lights on, but then again, I'm
You
nosy.
would. Your curiosity would not let you stay away from it. You'd have to, Les. You would. Your curiosity would drive you mental.
It would. It
I
would.
would be
I'm
in the
nosy.
door. You know that. I'd be in the door. Boom, door be off the hinges. I'd be, yeah, party on, man. Then there'd be documented histories. Painted lady appears because of my tattoos. Oh, this painted woman appeared. She was a space invader. And it's like, it's not really me with my iPhone. Hey, everybody.
Next thing you know, there'd be talk about a painted lady that appeared in the history books, and here it was you.
That's
You'd be
me.
reading
I'd be
about
live
yourself.
streaming and all. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are tonight, just on a ley line, and we've managed to jump back into 1722. And here I am with my friend Archibald.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'd be in there.
And then you'd be reading about yourself today.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
I'd
this
be
was
saying to the
me.
kids, I told you I was famous.
See, this
Okay.
was me, y'all. There you go. Painted lady, this is me.
That's me. Let's go to the Louvre. I bet you they've got me painted in there as well. But no, seriously, your curiosity would not let you stay away from that. You wouldn't be able to.
Oh,
If you've
yeah.
seen lights on and you heard all this medieval music and there seems to be some kind of party, you'd think like he did. It's a fancy dress. I'm gonna go and pop my head in the door. Of course you would. But bang, disappears. He's in a coma, and then he's paralyzed down the right hand side for the rest of his life. And all of them told the same story. I think there was 5 of them.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm too nosy. I probably would have. I'm just that way. I'd be like, yeah, I really.
We'd be there, we'd be streaming with our iPhones or whatever.
I
Here
would
we are,
have.
guys. We're trapped in 1621. Can somebody go and feed the rats for me, please? We'll try and work out how we get back.
Yeah, see, I'd be in the history books too. This strange thing showed up wearing this strange hat that said Queen on it. Yeah.
You'd probably be in your fake policeman's uniform or something. They'd really think you were a space traveler or something.
Probably. And you know what I would do though? If I do something like that, I would, because I'm getting me a body camera. I would turn the body camera on because it lasts for 10 hours.
Right.
So I would turn the body camera on just to see what the body camera
would pick up.
It would pick up, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, you'd see me getting dragged off to the cells or something. We must execute the painted lady.
Oh my God. That would really piss me off.
Me too. I would be saying, Les, put a few bats on in my name so the kids are got millions. Get as much as you can on in a bat.
You know what would be really neat is if we got traveled in time like that, and we write letters and they saved our letters, and we'd be like, I'm really from the year 2018 or 19, and I want to send a message to Les. You bitch, you should have been with me.
Yeah. I would want to go back and catch Jack the Ripper. I'd be like, right, mister, right, you, get your bloody hands up behind your head. And he'd be terrified because I'd have my iPhone and all. He'd be zzz with my iPhone.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
If we could go back with tasers and shit.
Catch them.
And then go back and stop the killings.
Mm-hmm.
because we have the book. We know where he's going to be.
Exactly. Yep. I would be there with my handcuffs, and let me tell you, there wouldn't be Copen's handcuffs. There wouldn't be pink furry ones. There'd be electric powered ones. I'd be there with that in my cattle prod. I'd be you up against that wall, mister. I've got some questions to ask you.
There'd be no questions. I'd just go ahead and execute.
But we'd have to ask him why. We'd have all this recorded on our phones, and then we could do a live stream. We'd
Oh,
be on
yeah.
the news and all.
That's if we could come back.
Well, yeah, we'd really have to have that planned,
Yeah,
just in case old Saucy Jack gives us a run for our money. We could grab him though, Les, and bring him back now.
Oh,
And
hell no.
we'd be all over the news. YouTubers break internet, and it would be me and you going. We'd have to bring Katie in as well. We'd have to let her get in. I don't know, she'd be fighting with somebody or something. Just
Yeah, she would. She'd be going
passed
on.
on to us.
Well, knowing Katie, she'd be telling the lady, "What is your problem?
Yeah,
Why are
she'd
you
be
having
fighting with
strange
Jack the
men?"
Ripper. What you do that for, motherfucker? So there'd be chaos, and then we'd all be really, really, really rich, and it would be great.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? No, Katie'd be telling everybody off. She'd be
no.
telling the women off for not being safe.
Yeah,
She'd be telling the cops off for not arresting you, dude.
job.
For not doing their job. Why aren't you arresting him? And she'd be telling Jack the Ripper off like, who the hell do you think you are,
motherfucker? What's your problem, motherfucker? And Katie, shh, we're live, Katie, we're live on my channel.
Like, I don't care. This is Jack the Ripper. You guys,
this guy's got to answer to what he's fucking done, motherfucker. Yeah.
She'd be like, I wouldn't care. We just caught Jack the Ripper. I'm going to get me some answers. Damn it.
Yeah, she'd be there with a notebook going, right, talk. And as I say, I'd be too busy giving news interviews and whatnot. I said, yes, it was my genius that discovered the ley line. And you'd be complaining. You'd be saying, there's none of the food here that I can bloody eat. Hello, everybody.
I'd be like, damn. I'd be like, Cadbury's hadn't even been invented yet.
Oh, I could do Daisy May, couldn't I? I could go on and give Daisy May a run for it to see if it worked. Yeah, but all joking aside, wouldn't it be fucking amazing to be? Oh, sorry, wouldn't it be amazing to do something like that?
It would, but then again, we wouldn't have these legends we have today.
I don't care. It would be better to stop the killing, wouldn't it? Like, you think if we had a time machine like that, we could go back and change lots of things. We could stop the Travis Alexander murder, Shanann, Jack the Ripper. We could stop all sorts of things.
We could, but we'd have to not be seen. There's a thing with looping. It's a very controversial thing, traveling.
I don't stand out anyway, Les. Nobody would notice us.
Well, the first thing we would have to do, people don't understand, when you travel in time, it is not a moving vehicle. It's a traveling time from the place you are standing.
Yeah.
You go back in time and land in that same space you are standing. You're not going to move three states over.
Couldn't I? I could actually say, look, I've been a week ahead and you still haven't brought your laundry down. Get it done. The freaking stairs and get it done. Yeah.
So, that reminds me the traveling in time thing. They believe that this is what they say. This is what they believe, and I don't at all. They believe the Germans had created a time machine. It was in the shape of a bell. It's called the bell. And that at the end of the war, when they were getting rid of their secrets and stuff, that they actually activated this bell.
Yeah.
It was a time machine. And I said to myself, okay, all right. But when it reappeared, it would reappear in the same spot, just in the future. Well, they're saying that there was this bell-shaped thing that landed in Pennsylvania, and they believe that is the time machine that the Germans activated. I said, and this was on Ancient Aliens. I said, y'all are about dumb as a box of rocks.
Mm.
because it cannot travel. A time machine doesn't travel distance. It only travels time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, yeah.
bell would have shown back up in the very spot it disappeared from.
Yeah. I buy into that theory. What I will say though is I will tell you this, the it's actually proven fact that they were meddling to try and open portals.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They and those scientists, not all of them were executed. They were
No.
put to work in the space stations and research and blah blah blah.
A
But
lot of them came here.
that's right.
The United States grabbed them. As a matter of fact, it was one of them that created the atomic bomb.
I know, I know. It was either you or Luca were talking to about this a couple of weeks ago. What I will say is Hitler was now Hitler himself was absolutely determined to get his hands on the sword of Longinus.
The,
Um,
the,
and you know what the sword of Longinus is, don't you?
is that the spear of destiny?
That's it.
It is said that he had it.
Well, if he had it, he would have won. He would have become invincible.
Well, he
But
almost did,
yeah, exactly.
except
And
for it was stolen.
there was this guy a couple of years ago was arrested in the States, and he said that he was sent back from the year, and I think it was a couple hundred years ahead. I'm sure it was 31. That might have been it, 22, 31, something like this anyway. And there was absolutely no record of this guy. He had identification on him, no record of him. No, there was no blood or he spoke complete English. Anyway, if you look it up, you'll find it. He said that he travelled in a time. He come back to try and warn of nuclear war. That was his mission,
Yeah.
and he couldn't tell them, where the time machine was, and they were transporting him or whatever. I don't know. He escaped and he ran up an alleyway, and there was like a sewage tunnel, a disused sewage tunnel or something. That was the only thing that were there, and he disappeared. Never ever seen or found again. Now they've got video evidence of this guy. This is recent. There's some of this was taken on phones. Now it could be a very very good hoax, but that when I watched that, there was just something about that bothered me. Yeah, just something about it that unnerved me. I thought I do think that there's an awful lot that they're hiding from us. I really, really do genuinely think there's a lot that they're hiding from us. And time travel, well, we know that there's the speed of light, there's the speed of sound. We know that. We don't know what they've got, Les. And it could be possible with the technology that we've got nowadays. It could be possible.
Well,
I wouldn't rule it out.
it could be a couple thousand years from now. They could manipulate um, the, the time travel thing. I kind of, but then again, I don't have the information. I'm not as smart as these engineers and this and that. I mean, I'm a pretty smart cookie, but it could be where they've harnessed part of Einstein's theory where they can manipulate wormholes and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, I can see a possibility
Mm-hmm.
of traveling through time.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Mm-hmm.
see the possibility of it, but it would have to be a certain way to do it.
Well, it would
I
have
don't
to
think
by
it's an
some
actual I don't think it's an actual time machine.
Mm.
I think it would have to be a machine that could cause the energy to
Yeah.
manipulate wormholes in order to travel through that kind of time. And I could see that happening. Whether we can or can't, we don't know what, because look at the advancement in technology just
Mm-hmm.
in the last 60, 75 years.
Look at what happened to my friend Anne back home, right? When she and I were best buds and what have you. Oh, sorry. Her mum died and she didn't take it too well, kind of took it out on me, so that's why we don't talk anymore. But her and her boyfriend Derek, they used to go all around Ireland, and they'd gone up the coast somewhere. I don't know whereabouts, but in Ireland, even in Northern Ireland, there's lots of old places. You know, really, really old. And it was a seafront place. I remember specifically telling me it was a seafront place. And as they were going out to get to their destination, there was a little like a coffee shop, a little. Well, yeah, I don't know what you would describe it as. Anyway, they stopped. They goes into this place, and everybody that's in there is dressed like almost in Victorian attire. You know, long skirts, hair all pulled back, and little caps on and what have you. Fair old till, and they'd been fresh baked scones and tea. That's what this place was selling. So Anne and Derek's like, what, this must be, a themed cafe. That's what they thought it was, a themed place. And it said things like, fippence and what for a pot of tea and a fresh scone, fippence. So they order tea and a scone. They sit down, they go to pay. They don't have, these people won't accept the currency. And Anne and Derek starting to get really uncomfortable. The people that are running it, they're very pleasant about it. And Anne says, look, we'll go and get change and we'll come back. Because they're asking for tuppence and fippence, and they don't know what, they're trying to pay with pound coins. And
Mm-hmm.
this place just, they're not having it. So they go to the car, and Derek says to Anne, is this really happening? Or am I dreaming? And Anne says, no, it's really happening. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's playing a practical joke on us. I don't know. They're wondering what the hell's going on if they walked onto a movie set or something. They're confused to hell. Drive down the road to a garage, right? They go in, they break the they get pound coin changed. So they've got 5 pences, 20 pence pieces, 10 pence pieces, our currency here. Get back into the car, turn it around, go back up the road to try and go into this. That was it. It was painted pink. It was baby pink. It was all pebble dash and it was painted pink. That was it. And when they went back up, they couldn't see it again. So they turned and came down the way that they originally came. There's no sign of this place. But they went in and they had a pot of tea and a fresh baked scone. They didn't have the money to pay. They went and got change so they could go back. They're thinking this is a practical joke. They go back. This place isn't there. Everybody inside it is dressed, like a couple of 100 years ago. But they're baking. They're baking scones, and they have an old fashioned till. One of those ones that have got the big old keys on it. You press the key down, it goes ka-ching.
Yeah.
They have one of those. There's a clock on the wall. So, we're like, we've got currency and a clock on the wall, but when they go back, it's not there. And both Anne and Derek, like, they weren't taking the piss out of me. They were genuinely shook about this. So I don't know. Was that a ley line? What happened?
I don't know.
And what would have happened if they'd stayed there any longer?
Yeah.
That was what I was saying. What the hell would have happened if you'd stayed there? My goodness, what on earth? So,
Yeah.
but that really, really happened.
You don't know. You just don't know.
See, I'd have been asking questions. There's no way I could have kept my mouth shut. I'd have started to ask bloody questions. I wouldn't have scampered off trying to find change. I would have been asking, what date is it? That would be the first thing I would have asked. What date is it? But
Well,
yeah,
I would be asking everyone around if y'all seen this. I would tell them, and maybe there's some local legend.
there were people in the place though. It wasn't just Al and Derek went in and it was empty. There was actually, somebody working behind the counter. There was somebody baking
Oh
these
no,
scones.
I would have went around to like when they went to get the change. I would
Mm,
have asked them.
I don't know whether they did or not. I don't think they did. I think that the pair of them was genuinely shook.
Oh, I'm sure
Like
they were.
what the hell has just happened? But as soon as they wouldn't have accepted my currency, I would have been asking questions. So I don't know, but a lot of people report these things, and everybody goes, "Oh, well, that couldn't have happened." They're imagining it and blah blah blah. But not everybody can be wrong, Les. Not
Oh no,
everybody.
oh no, I don't think so. Who knows?
Who knows? I
Who,
don't.
who? I know there's been reports of people would go into diners and then they would leave and then they would come back and the diner never even existed.
Yeah, that's very similar to what happened there.
You know, they're like, what happened?
Yeah,
It never existed.
I'd probably still be there eating scones. Wouldn't bother me as long as I had tea and scones. I'd be happy.
Ugh.
Keep them coming.
I'd be like, y'all got a Coke?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a Coke.
Oh, I think once you tasted fresh baked scones, you'd change your mind, Les.
Oh, I love scones. Oh,
Mm.
don't get me wrong. I love scones. I just want a Coke with it. And it's
Fresh
like, "Can I
baked
have a Coke?"
cream and strawberries. Yum.
I love scones.
I joy. I love them.
Yeah. Wait, who knows? I mean, you know, and it's written throughout time. Strange things happening in this on this earth,
Mm-hmm.
and people. It amazes me how people today, in one breath, they believe what history wrote, in another breath, well, they don't know what they were writing.
Yeah.
They don't understand. People wrote exactly what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
If they said they saw a huge bird, it was a huge bird.
That's right.
It wasn't some metal airplane. They would have said this metal thing, shiny thing. No, they saw a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Don't add more into what they're writing. They wrote exactly what they saw.
Yeah.
It's not for you to interpret what they saw. If they were smart enough to write it, then that's what they saw.
And if they were caught writing something that was unacceptable, they'd have either been arrested or they would have been put in the asylum because you know how strict it was in those days. So,
Well, even way back then, even a couple thousand years ago, if they saw something like a blimp,
mhm,
okay, they would describe it or draw it.
yeah,
If they didn't know what it was, they're not just going to make something up.
you're right
They're
about blimps. They have reported, those things have been reported throughout history.
Yeah,
We'll see those. Yeah.
so they would describe it and draw it.
Hmm.
They're not going to sit there and just say it's something where it wasn't, where you can say, "Oh no, they were mistaken. They really saw this."
Yeah.
No, they
No.
wrote what they saw, or drew it. I mean, you know, um, so that's what surprises me. But things have been written in history about seeing strange things in the sky or strange things happening upon this earth.
Yeah.
Um, Look at all these old, several thousands. I mean, 6, 7, 8,000. They believe year old um, buildings, concrete buildings that have been dilapidated. But they say that there's doorways,
Hmm.
and but there's no way to get in it. But they say it's a temporal doorway. So apparently, at one time, these people really thought this was and it could have been a temporal doorway.
Yeah. Well, they still report these doorways now, don't they? A lot
Yeah.
of people report seeing these doors and they're scared to open them. I really don't know if I would be scared. I honestly don't know. I think that my curiosity would get the hold of me, and I would open up. You know, I
Yeah.
know what I'm like.
Yeah. Maggie Farrell, hello.
Well, Les, listen, it's been absolutely wonderful. I'm going to gnash off because I've got. Did I tell you? I'll tell you very fast. A letter come through the door, threatening to take Griffin to court and arrest him and charge him and what for driving offences committed somewhere way down south in a Volkswagen, and they've given the name Griffin Marley. Well, his name isn't Marley; it's Morley. He's never been down there, and we don't have a Volkswagen. So I'm waiting until 8 o'clock, and I'm ringing them, and I'm putting a rocket up their arse because somebody's obviously, they've got caught and used his identity. So
Yeah.
I'm absolutely furious about this, daring to send threatening letters here. You pay this fine or else. The kid wasn't even there. So
Yeah.
that's another reason why I'm up. I've got a couple of like serious phone calls to make today. So, but I've
Well,
been in
I'm getting ready
touch.
to get off here too because it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
Way past my bedtime.
Oh, you need your beauty sleep, babe. So,
Yeah.
look, guys, thanks for your company. Everybody in the chat putting up with me, and yeah, wish me luck, please, because
Yeah.
I've got a nutcase to take care of, and nutcases here that have stolen my son's identity. So,
Well,
not
good
a
luck
problem.
to you, and
Not a
thank you for being on panel with me.
Thank you for having me, Liz.
Oh, as a pleasure as always.
Give me a shout, sweet pea. Take it easy.
Okay,
Big
hon.
bless. See everybody. Bye.
Bye, Bam. And thank you to everyone for being in the chat tonight. Bye and good luck. Um, I appreciate everybody coming in. I hope you enjoyed our little chat, and I hope to see everyone tomorrow. So till then, we'll talk later and have a good night. Bye.